music stuff, but we got an intro that I gotta splice. But like sometimes with is the mic still on? Y'all will insert like clips or like audio. Do the fans really react to that or?
Yeah, sometimes you need it for content. Sometimes you need that sound design just to keep them interested.
So watch out, you might.
What's it? Oh,
Wobbly. You don't want that to fall. No, you good.
nah, he just didn't wire this. So yeah, I'm really into like all of the sound design and stuff, and just trying to keep people interested so they don't get the same old thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can be a little dull without any type of audio interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I started picking up on that. Like the more I was editing, the more I was just listening. I'm like it's good content, but you want to still keep people engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
so, and a lot of daily podcasts I listen to, like sometimes they'll use different music throughout the whole damn show.
Yep.
And
so I started doing that.
Yeah,
I started doing that.
I haven't gotten there yet because I don't have like a wide assortment of beats yet. And then I'm just be trying to think of different ways to use it because they just pick out the way you pick out the sound to go with the topic. It's crazy, man. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, like we had a topic, is Dr. Dre clout chasing Nipsey Hussle's name. And I had like this super hard West Coast gangster beat. So you hear that shit, dun, 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 like that shit menacing as hell.
Dr.
Like,
J.
Dr. Dre.
Oh, Dre. Oh, okay.
Dr. Dre. Yeah, clout chasing Nipsey Hussle's name because like he was in the studio with him and Game and Snoop.
Oh yeah, that was that beat you said they previewed some music from that session.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be on Game's album, right?
So that's gonna be super dope.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear that.
Bruh.
Dumb underrated production wise.
Bruh. And then
It's
Game
him
said
and
this is
Ross.
gonna be his last.
He be saying that. He like Jay-Z.
I don't know about that one. I
Did
can
you
see Game's
update
album.
the doc?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't. I had some things in it, but you could add to whatever. I was thinking, should we talk about the Stanley Cup final?
I ain't got shit.
I was just gonna say, just update people like it's 4-2, or I mean, what is it up? They 2-1. I think the Bruins are up 2-1 on the Blues.
Yeah,
Bruh,
you can.
bruh, let me ask you something.
Don't ask me nothing because I already.
I'm gonna date myself a little bit. You ever watch the MTV show Daria?
Yeah.
You know when she does this shit? That's what that is. That's what that
Bruh,
is right now.
you know that's on Hulu now. They got,
Really?
Yeah, I was
Wow.
watching. I was like, damn, I remember I used to fuck with this show back then.
Hell
Because I
yeah.
remember the teacher with the big ass eye. That shit was, damn. That's a throwback for real. That was when TV was good,
Pull
man.
this shit up.
Clarissa explains
Because all I
all.
had was I wanted to talk about obviously the recap of Game 2 and then preview Game 3, and then LeVar.
He called that shit.
LeVar is a
No,
fucking.
hold.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say, it, but like,
And we
yeah,
can start right there, too.
LeVar is a fucking
Are
prophet.
you ready?
All right, let me go ahead and kick it off while I pull this up. I think we're on YouTube. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inge. Joining me as usual is FIFO 24/7.
Yes, sir.
I've been off for a couple of weeks. Nikki Duce, aka Mr. Disrespect.
How y'all doing?
What should I say? Mr. Disrespect, aka Nikki Duce on this show.
Yep. Get it right, Ken.
That's his name on this show.
It's like Bruce Wayne, Batman. It's the same thing. Same nigga.
BZ will be joining us in a few minutes. He just finished wrapping up the Dead End Gaming recording, so make sure you guys go subscribe to that. This show is brought to you live from Dead End Studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're on YouTube right now, so if you're listening to the audio version of this that drops every Thursday, catch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/deadendsports. Also, check out our other shows on deadendpodcast.com and our other sports programs such as Chris Platty's Strictly Hoop Talk and B-Ball Talk, and Any Given Sunday with Manny at the Manuel Brown on Twitter and at Real Chris Platty on Twitter, who will actually be here the second week in June. So we want to link up that Sunday. So and get some content. So he's coming here for On Deck TV podcast. Have you heard of them? Cause you be knowing all the little podcast niggas.
I'll be trying to try to see what the competition looking like.
Yeah. So they filming. They're doing their 300th episode live. So he introduced them to or mentioned us to him and want us, to kind of connect. So
shout out to them.
Episodes.
They committed,
dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's what, a third of what we got.
I already
I
knew.
thought you was trying to promote somebody again.
Nah,
What?
come on, man.
I'm just saying that's
This
dope.
the Hollywood K. You
That's
ain't know
dope.
this K right here.
Look, he
We
laid
know it
back.
works.
It is.
We
He
know
laid
what it
back.
takes.
Unbuttoned.
It is.
You know, talking all that shit.
I mean, we know what it takes, man.
No, of course.
Nah, 300, man. Like, people rarely get to 300.
Yeah, man.
I it's even worse than that. I heard like you're not really an official podcast till you get to 12 episodes, because most people drop out before that.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a long
grind.
game, man. Yeah,
It's a grind.
Yep. So so salute. We get a chance to meet them and connect. So yeah. Y'all wanted to start with LeVar, man.
Yeah,
So,
man.
You want to start with LeVar? All right,
Let's
let's
start right
Let's
there.
go. Y'all were talking about a pre-show.
This man is he Black Jesus? Can he predict everything that's going on right? I guess with the Lakers he got the Midas touch because everything he said is facts.
But I don't think look for us, right? Like it feels like he predicted something. For him, he was just speaking truth. And I think that's the thing that we got to realize with LeVar. He speaks his truth. Like, and he made a lot of points even when we covered it back then. Like, Magic told me a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to go down and go down.
This was like in February.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that you're not the guy pulling the strings. And all he did was talk his truth, and we thought he batshit crazy. That man ain't crazy.
Fill me in because I'm not watching LeVar anymore. I'm done with him. What did he say?
Well, he was actually a more polished LeVar
Yeah,
that I seen
man.
on Undisputed. Like, at least I can send you the clip, but like he was real calm. He wasn't. I mean, he talked his shit a little bit, but it was more. He was very like presentable as far as like what Lonzo's status was as far as his injury and like what he expects him coming into next season. How he's happy that Luke Walton's gone because he held him back. How he was just like, as far as the whole Magic situation, he was like that's. It didn't come from me just bashing Magic. It came from, like people were saying, it was conversations that I was and promises that were had and made but didn't be fulfilled. So, and then, Skip was like, man, you really called all that shit. And
How is he calling it if, like he said, I think it's more he's just speaking his truth and making public stuff that's happened to him in private. So it's making him look like a prophet, but it's not.
Well, because at the time, well, you got to go back.
What type of Jedi mind trick is you trying to
That's
play?
not a Jedi mind
I'm
trick.
talking about from ever since we heard LeVar Ball, when has he been wrong more than right? I mean, when has he been – he's been right more than he's been wrong.
But you get what I'm saying, though?
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, he did say his son was going to play for the Lakers. He got drafted by the Lakers.
That was
You know what I'm saying?
That was a little that was outlandish and it landed. It just happened.
But I'm just saying, who does that?
Okay, what else he say? What else he say, Nick?
He said Luke
What
Walton
about
ain't a good coach.
What about them other boys?
Well, here, so okay, look, so I'm just saying, LeVar.
I'm just saying
had,
we can say he made one prophetic,
but here's
announcement,
the thing,
but the other ones didn't come true.
But part of that, right? Part of the promises that weren't fulfilled was having Jello at least make it to the summer league squad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, you didn't even got to draft my boy. Just put him on. Everybody make a summer league squad. Even dudes that been playing in Europe for 12 years thinking that they're going to get a chance in the NBA, get on the summer league squad.
He said they all were going to play for the Lakers.
They still can.
It's a possibility.
Look, Jeannie loved her relationship.
No, wait, hold on. Go ahead and miss on. You think what came out about LeBron today is false?
I do. I do. I mean, it's not, I think people just making stuff up. It's not hard to just throw something like that out there.
So all right. So we always like to read between the lines with LeBron. Cryptic tweets, what he's saying, what he's not saying.
And Bill Plaschke is a respected journalist over in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that what he heard isn't factual. I'm sure he did hear that. What I'm saying is no fucking shit, Sherlock. Like you said it in the text. We've been saying that for a couple of months now. Just guessing.
Yeah, but we didn't expect it to get this bad when we said that.
I'm talking about saying that LeBron will probably demand a trade if they don't make a free agent signing. Somebody said that on the show.
I know I'm saying, but we didn't expect it. I was saying that way before I knew about all this Genie and Magic stuff, way before Magic left, way before the trade with Anthony Davis became a shit show. Like, it was a lot of things that I was like, wow, I expected it to be not as good, but I didn't expect it to be this bad.
But I guess it's not that hard to make that logical leap, right? To say that, hey, if they don't get a free agent, LeBron may want to be out. So, so that's why I'm like, for Bill to come out and say that, especially with everything that's happened.
But that's still a lot. That's still a big thing to say because he just got there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he literally just touched down a year ago from this summer.
Yeah, but it's a mess. So why wouldn't he? I mean, is that how he would want to end his career? I don't think so. So it makes sense for LeBron to put the little birdies in.
Of course, but that's how LeBron is always been passive aggressive. So that's why I do believe it. You're saying you don't, or whatever your stance is. I do believe it because at the end of the day, right? Like, we're looking at a guy, arguably the greatest. Arguably, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying it's arguable.
I think he is. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
He want to start an argument. That's
why. We're right at. We're right at. But going into his 16th year,
17th
or 17th year, rounding out almost 2 decades in the NBA, still playing at this level, you need guys. You need guys. It's just as simple as that. And these are babies, and they not ready for the type of even veteran guys, a la George Hill, a la Larry Nance, a la everybody
Jordan
else,
Clarkson,
Rodney Hood, crumbled under pressure. He needs guys that are talented, like Kyrie, that says, give me this because I got it. He needs guys like that, and he don't have it. And if LA can't get a guy like that, like Jimmy don't back down. Jimmy go lock up anybody. Let's go, Bron. You want me to rough this guy up? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy's that type of guy. He need guys.
So you think Brian should leave if they don't?
I think he'll demand that trade. He'll demand that trade.
They come back with that,
and I think he'll make it public as hell.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not Brian's MO though.
But here's the thing though.
Because he ain't got no trade. He didn't have a no trade clause.
He don't have no trade clause, and he has to use his leverage.
And he may have left that out intentionally. Now that we can use some hindsight here.
And Jeannie has to listen to that because he's selling tickets. He's selling jerseys. He's bringing asses in the seats. Like, if LeBron ain't there, who are they propping up? They're not propping up nobody. But to go back to LeVar, I just think that this past interview showed that he may be an insider now, which is what you're saying is like, oh yeah, he's just basically telling you what he has his son plays for the Lakers, so he should have that information.
He's inside trading.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for the guy who he was just a regular dad. What other dad has inside information? It's because he knows what he's talking about,
but
and he can see things.
Have inside information if his son is the number 2 draft pick in the league.
I'm just saying, like, the things he's brought up, he brought him up to the forefront early and often. I don't think he expected Magic to leave. He wasn't surprised.
Yeah, if he was so prophetic, why did he prophesize that?
But he said he was a figurehead.
He said it was a figurehead, and Magic don't like to be put in no box. That's why he busted up out of there. So I just think that you really you got to look at him a little bit more. There's more legitimacy to him than him being a crazy NBA dad.
Nope,
can't do it, man.
Nope, can't do it. I can't give you credit for you divulging information that you know in private to the public, and then say you're a prophet or you know what you're talking about. Of course you know what you're talking about.
But everybody,
you're the only motherfucker that got.
Then why did everybody say he was crazy? Like you.
Yep.
LeVar still is crazy as hell. Right. He still is crazy as hell. All the crazy shit he said, that shit ain't gone anywhere. His son better than Jordan. His son can beat LeBron. Y'all know all this crazy motherfucking shit to say. So he come out here and say some shit.
They don't have to say wait no more. They don't have to say wait no more.
Can I guess?
Because at the end of the day, we know that shit was crazy, and that's why that type of shit don't get the same headlines it do no more.
And that's why. And that's probably why he's on Undisputed being all a house nigga now.
Come on, man. I was gonna say, what does FIFA always say? 3 to 5. Lonzo still got time to develop and go. And he could be one of the greatest point guards, or he could be one of the biggest busts in NBA history. We don't know yet, but it's still up in the air. So his stuff that he said still has legs. It may not be standing on that much right now, but
LaMelo is for real. I'm gonna just say that now. I've been saying it.
I'm okay with LaMelo. LaMelo, whatever the other one is.
No, and he's in his puberty too. Like he grew up like
he's 6'7", bro. Yeah. He's taller, bigger than Lonzo.
Because the kids are you kind of pointed out their trajectory anyway. So you said Lonzo, you said LiAngelo, okay.
Yeah, I said LiAngelo.
Shooter, whatever.
Yeah,
you said LaMelo's the guy. So
yeah.
I'm okay with that. But then when he go and say they all gonna play for the Lakers, which we can't predict the future.
I'm just saying it's very possible. Look, if LiAngelo lands on a summer league team, right? Look. Let's play the game of what ifs, right? Like that's what we do here sometimes.
Where's the flag?
And all I'm saying is that summer league is right around the corner. You add LiAngelo to the Lakers squad. What if one game he has 4 or 5 threes?
All right, so let me ask you this: why would you do that?
You need shooters.
Yep.
Why would you do that, given the information you just said about LeBron and why he would want in or out?
No, of course. But at the end of the day, it is in the Lakers' best interest to bring every best shooter available.
That's what I was gonna say.
He could shoot. Way over there in Russia, he could shoot. Bring him.
Why not get a veteran?
It costs more.
Mid-level.
Costs more. No, I understand.
I'm just going by
you asking for a lot for a mid-level guy.
You want to bring in a rookie
but you asking for a lot for a mid-level guy.
But here's the thing, though, Ken. My early analysis on LiAngelo was catch and shoot guy, has the body for the NBA, gonna get beat defensively. Doesn't move his feet. All three of them boys don't play no defense. Lonzo's the best one defensively, so let me take that back. But Jello can bang the three. He can catch and shoot. He can move without the rock. He played with 2 guard dominant brothers. He don't pound the rock. He's a Dollar General version of Klay Thompson.
All right, fine.
With no defense.
Okay, cool.
$1.50.
You gotta respect the man.
Nah, bro, I can't do it.
All I'm saying is summer league. All I'm saying, Ken.
I'm talking about LeVar.
Wait, he don't hoop. He not the one getting the contract. Ken, what I am saying is, look, for the sake of selling tickets, for the sake of adding shooters at the cheap, for the sake of being a franchise of their word, if we told this man, look, we'll give your middle son at least, a look-see on a summer league squad, give the man the look-see.
Didn't they do that last year?
No, Jello didn't play.
No, he didn't.
Who played in the summer league last year?
Lonzo.
Who's the middle son?
That's
Jello.
LiAngelo's the youngest?
No, Melo is the youngest.
Melo's the youngest.
I done got him confused. All these damn.
Melo's in the L.
Yeah, shit.
It's all the gray hair on your face. But yeah, man, look, Jello can be a rotational guy.
All right, fine. You can have him.
So all I'm saying is just give him a look. See, it's summer
Definitely
league.
give him a look. But that don't mean you're gonna make the team.
But if he has a couple games where he's banging 3, 4, 5, 6 threes, the man did score 70-some odd points in high school.
He was come on, you saw
catch
that.
And
I'm
shoot,
just saying.
though.
I'm just
You
saying.
saw that 70. That 70 was
catch and shoot.
At the end of the
He can
day,
catch and
give him a shot. Let him get his foot in the door.
I don't care. They can give him a shot. I don't care. Give him a shot. I'm not against it. Give him a shot. What next?
Okay.
That's still not gonna make LeVar some profit.
I'm gonna tell you
If
like
he-
this.
like
I think Lonzo switching off BBB, like he's not gonna rock their shoes no more. Him switching off of that, I think he's gonna mitigate some of these lower leg injuries he's been having the last couple of seasons.
You say the BBB was his.
Yeah,
the
man.
reason why.
I think that has to play a factor into it. You talking about a shoe that has not been researched and developed like the likes of Puma, New Balance, Nike, Reebok, all of these major companies that have tech and research and development just to bring these shoes to life. Like BBB, where are you getting your research from, bro? Like you not. Come on, man. So I think that's going to be a positive move for Lonzo. I think that I've been said it. Lonzo and Bron can play together. Luke Walton was part of the problem, and you got to coach Lonzo up to be more aggressive. And
LeBron been doing that more than Luke Walton.
He has. But Lonzo you got to play him minutes, and you got to play him with Bron.
This is the biggest year for the Lakers in probably the last 20 years.
So
this offseason going into the regular season of 2019-2020, like whatever happens here will either
20 years. That's a lot thrown in there in the last 20
I
years.
think so. In the last because I mean we're coming up on 2020. So
then
from early 2000,
1999.
I'm talking about from early 2000.
Since Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, since Kobe and Shaq to now. This is the best. This is the biggest.
Yes, this is
fork
the
in the
best
road.
they've been. No, this is the best
No,
they've
he's
been
saying
since.
biggest decision.
Yeah, this is the biggest fork in the road for the Lakers franchise in the last 20 years.
Okay,
In terms
clean
of
it up,
what?
clean
In
it
terms
up.
of either they're going to go in the right direction or they're going to be horrible for the next decade.
Oh, it could be both.
Because LeBron, at some point, if it get right for 3 years, then he out.
Exactly.
Then what?
It could be both.
But championship aspirations are in the next 3 years for them, or supposed to be. He signed a contract for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't signed there just to.
But to his point, it would be both. You get the championship, then you back to where you were.
It's short
Yeah,
and
but a
long
championship.
term.
But we can swallow a championship. You can't just be
They
bad with
won't swallow the
LeBron.
championship.
They're willing to do anything right now.
No. They'll swallow. No. When I say that, like once they get that one, they're gonna want another one.
Yeah, of course.
So
Everybody
when they
wants
go
another
back
one.
down, so they ain't gonna.
But
be,
for them
they
to
ain't gonna
go from
settle
where
for
they
that
are
shit.
now to a championship would be a lot.
But the thing is that with the Lakers' current infrastructure, team roster, organizational chart, everything, they are lackluster at best, and they are built for the short term, the very short term. Because Brandon Ingram, the jury's still out.
No,
He's
it's
still
not.
in the 3 to 5, but I'm kind of starting to
The
come
jury
off.
ain't
You
out.
think it's a rap
I've
for
seen
Ingram?
it.
You
The
give
jury
him-
ain't
I've
out.
seen it.
Oh.
He got it.
Oh,
He got it.
So what is it then?
Well,
Consistency.
he got a blood clot. I don't know if he got it.
It's fine. It's been fixed.
All right, man. Now we got Kim, PhD.
So-
he got a.
You know, like
Well, LeVar did it. Why can't I do it?
All right.
So
I made some good calls too.
So like how good
if
is
that man
Kyle
fall
Kuzma?
on the floor and he done, I'm gonna
How good is Kyle Kuzma, right? Like how good is Lonzo? How
I think
good
we've seen Kyle
is
Kuzma's
Josh
ceiling.
Hart? So
think-
he already hit the ceiling.
Yeah, I think that's him.
I don't
You
think he's
think
hit the
that's him?
ceiling.
I think that's
Damn.
I
him.
don't think that's. How
You
you
don't
gonna
think
say
nothing about
that?
his game
What
to
else
get
he
better?
got, Nick?
The jury. You saying the jury is in for Ingram,
I
but
think Ingram has way more upside than Kuzma.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying like I still think Kuzma can be a better player.
Oh, he can. Okay,
But-
more
but I-
efficient.
Yeah, and I like what else can he do better?
He could
Just-
be better defensively. He's got the length for it, and he got the body for it.
Naturally, you'll become typically a better team defender.
If anything, he's the
naturally.
Dollar
nigga
General
Shannon
Klay
Sharpe.
Thompson.
Hell no.
Who,
What are you
Kuzma?
talking about?
Kuzma could be.
He can't even shoot.
He can't
He
even
can't shoot like that. He
threes.
can't shoot like
Efficiency
that.
is
He can't
what
shoot
I'm,
like that.
I'm talking
But-
about.
but-
I said Dollar General.
No,
You know what
not
that
even.
means?
Not even
That's
that.
not even the same mold.
It'd be different
bruh.
if he can shoot.
That's
Like,
actually insulting.
yeah.
is.
To both of them.
Yep. It
First
is.
you saying I'm a Dollar General ass nigga,
Right.
and then Klay Thompson like for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on,
He
Don't
been
even
Klay
put me in
Thompson
the
saying
same
for real
boat.
for all his life. So let's
Don't even
keep
put
it
me
a
in the
buck.
same boat if I'm Clay.
Nah, yeah, you can't disrespect.
I
Klay
think
like
I
that.
got a lot of faith in Kyle Kuzma, unlike y'all.
to do what?
I think he
You
can
know-
be
you
a
know-
really impactful NBA player.
No, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I think Kyle Kuzma is a slightly better version of Taj Gibson. Somebody that started right as a rookie, started off the bench. You saw possibly double potential, but consistently, is he gonna be a 23 and 8 or 9 guy, 10 guy? Kyle Kuzma,
No,
like
he-
23?
He
I
don't
think
need
he
to be.
could with the minutes, but
I think he'd
Take
be a
him
20
off
and
this
5.
squad. Take him off this
Okay.
squad and put him almost anywhere else. Does he do the same?
I think he'd be a 20 and 5.
Anywhere?
he can
I think
score.
he'd be a 20 and
Anywhere?
5. I think he can
Because
be a 20
there's a
and 5.
difference of getting 20 and whatever with LeBron and going and getting 20 and something
Well,
by
he was
yourself.
getting-
He was getting that
Go ahead,
before
bro.
I was
LeBron.
about to say, put him on a Charlotte Hornet squad with Kimba.
He can
What
get
do you
20
think
and
he
5.
With
20
they
and 5?
He
They
can get
personnel.
20.
With their personnel they got.
I don't think so.
The less people he got to play with, the more touches he gets.
Yeah, but
That's where the efficiency comes in, obviously. But I mean, he could be a 20 and 5 player. He's talented.
what, 5, yes. 2010, double. Is he a
He
double
can
guy?
play, but
I'm not
talented?
saying- I'm
no,
not
I'm talking about
saying
the
he can't
talented
play.
thing.
Like,
I mean, he played what 4 years at Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He's seasoned, so I think he's like almost right there.
Dame Lillard played 4 years, and he wasn't the Dame he
Kuzma
was
don't
now.
have nowhere near the.
I'm
talent
just
that
talking
Lillard
about
has.
just because you play 4 years in college doesn't mean that's it.
No. But think about it. Even Dame came into the league way more seasoned than most point guards. And he was ready for the moment.
But he got better,
Wait, hold on. He did get better, but he didn't get exponentially better. He got more efficient at what he does. His 3-point shot, his range, his ball handling, his finishing ability, more efficient. But his game is still his game.
And you saw special.
And that's what I'm saying. I think Kyle Kuzma can be an all-star. I'm not saying he's a repeat like a 9-10 time all-star, but I see him as being an all-star potential.
Hell no.
All right.
I think he has all-star potential, but I don't know if he realizes
He's gonna reach that potential.
And I think that, like, if you take him off this squad, because LeBron does a lot for his game. Shit, trust me. Did a lot for Tristan Thompson. It did a lot for a lot of bigs. That's Shaq. Even Shaq had moments with LeBron. But I don't know if you take Kyle Kuzma off this squad and you put him anywhere else, that he does what he's doing right now.
I'll say this.
I don't think he does.
He wants to be better, and he wants to improve. And he's admitted, like, he worked at improving his assist and all the other stuff. So the hunger is there. It's just how much is left for him to tap into.
I look at him like Jimmy Butler came in. No one really thought about him, counting him out, but his work ethic got him to where he is now. I see the same type of thing with Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, but Jimmy was like, 9 points? Like, he worked on defense first, and then he worked to improve his offense.
But here's the thing, though. Jimmy is an elite athlete at the NBA level. Kyle Kuzma isn't. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he's not elite, but he's a good athlete.
No, I'm not saying he's a trash player, nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's gonna be all-time great. I'm just saying I think he's gonna be a lot better than what y'all ceiling is for him.
Well, I'm just saying if you look at Taj Gibson's numbers as a starter, he's like 16-10, 18-10.
That's disrespectful as hell that you mentioned him.
I don't know why it is.
Taj Gibson.
I don't know why it is.
Taj Gibson is a footnote in every NBA team he's been in.
Taj,
what do you do? What is a memorable Taj Gibson when he dunked on Dwayne Wade? Yep. That's it.
Taj had a good 2 or 3 years. Bro.
He had a good 2 to 3 games.
Yes, he did. he helped elevate those Bulls teams
to what?
To being contenders with D-Rose and all them guys.
And where they get him?
Hey man, they ran against LeBron. What do you expect gonna happen?
I'm just saying, like,
Kuzma should be thankful that he ain't Taj Gibson right now. But I mean, we'll see. It all play out. I'm patient on that because it just means I'm gonna get older and closer to death. So I'm not in a hurry to see it. But
all right, this is
I think
on the man's name.
Nah, Kuzma will be better than Taj. I'm looking at the numbers.
I'm telling. That's what I'm saying. Y'all not paying attention to it. You a Lakers fan? You ain't been watching the game. Like, this guy is really.
Oh wait, I never co-signed that. I just let him.
Kuzma's definitely a step above. So I was disrespecting.
Yeah.
I was disrespecting Kuzma.
I call him a Dollar General Klay Thompson. Y'all talking about that's too much. That's too much praise.
Because they're not in the same mold of player.
I look at them in a similar.
Bradley
mold.
Beal and Klay Thompson are more similar.
No, because Bradley Beal can create his own shot off the dribble.
He has more of that, but they both have a lot of similarities.
I think they're two different type of style players. One is a spot-up shooter. One is a scorer.
They both spot-up shoot. Look at the number.
Bradley Beal's a scorer.
But I'm not saying he can't shoot. I give you that. No.
But he ain't spot
Bradley
up.
Beal got more game than Klay.
He has more off the dribble game than Klay. Of course.
Yeah.
I got more off the dribble game than Klay. What you mean?
Bragging about the.
What you mean?
Hey, yes, the years.
Tell Nick he ain't ready.
I'm not saying you're not lying.
I'm getting hella shit. I still be getting niggas out.
I'm just saying you gotta slide in your yes, the years.
I still be getting them.
How many times you got
the sounding like a young buck.
I'm just saying.
All right, man. Anyway, what next, man? LeVar. What you any thoughts on LeVar B?
I ain't even watched that interview.
Good.
Yeah,
he was right.
So me and B on the same label. We done with that con artist.
Y'all stubborn. That's what y'all.
He's a con artist, and I stand by it.
How does he?
Yeah, I didn't care to watch it once I saw that he was on there.
So you saying Lonzo's a bust?
I don't know yet.
So then he's not a con artist.
I go back and he hasn't shown nowhere near.
But a con artist means that you've been fooled and duped.
They were fooled and duped. All right, they definitely was that. They were that because he hasn't lived up to any of the hype that was sold. That he sold. So
he had a couple moments.
He's got
Phoenix. How many? 1, 2.
He got about 5.
Kuzma came in and
I'm
took
saying
his
stick to
spot.
the 3 to 5. I'm just sticking to the 3 to
man.
5.
He got about 5
I'm sticking
moments.
to that 3 to
He got
5.
about 5 moments. Couple triple doubles in there, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
I just saying, got a little something.
The jury's still out. The jury's still out. I'm not gonna rule
3
him
to
out. I
5.
go back
This
and
is third
forth.
year. This is third year. So this is the first big leap year.
One
He
day
gotta stay healthy too.
Yeah, he got to stay
That's,
healthy.
yeah, his dad talked
75
about that.
plus
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
stay healthy.
But he better show up. He's gonna be back to lines of no ball. That nickname is gonna stay there.
Man, it's gonna be
Lines
LeBronzo
of
all
no
day.
It's gonna be BBB, black boy on the bench.
Yeah, man, you better get together.
Yeah. All right.
Are you talking about the finals already?
No. They just wanted to, give LeVar some more airtime. So we want to start with the finals. We want to start with DeMar.
Also, let's go to
His comment. Talking about his comment. He said,
Man,
"Talking about his scapegoat."
I'm not gonna laugh.
What?
Go ahead and laugh.
Like-
Can't let it out.
Said he was a scapegoat, man. He like, yeah, all the hard work and stuff I put in, like they here because of me. They up here because of me. I'm the scapegoat. Like I put in all this work throughout these years of Toronto, and now all of a sudden they're here because of all the hard work that I put in that organization.
he sound like
I'm the scapegoat.
he sound like
does that make?
he sound like Ray J with that I hit it first.
Yeah.
I thought Mark Jackson when I saw it, but Mark Jackson never said that shit.
Right.
Like,
No,
other people said
no.
it for him. Nobody.
Only
does.
person that's allowed to say to like come off like, look, I built this ship is Tony Dungy.
I was gonna say Tony
It's
Dungy.
Tony Dungy in
Yep.
Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And Gruden even thanked him when he at his Super Bowl parade, Tony Dungy, for putting together that team because he knows. So that's the only person that deserves to say talk like that.
He helped, but he helped get it started. Like the lawnmower, you just pulling that cord.
Yeah.
And he was the core. He got the more moving, but he also showed that he was the reason why they couldn't get to where they are now.
Right.
So
You got
scapegoat.
swept. Didn't they get swept twice by LeBron?
Mm-hmm.
Twice by LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Him and Kyle Lowry put his name in there
Yeah.
too.
So he helped put
Yeah.
him on the map. He showed what it was like. Oh man, this team could probably do some things if he wasn't on the goddamn team.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: this shows the difference in the paycheck. What Kawhi should be getting, what DeMar should be getting. That's the difference. That's the value. We seeing it right now.
Yep.
Because you're talking about two guys similar size, similar games. Kawhi a better 3-point shooter,
Better defender.
better defender. But it's not like DeMar's a slouch. It ain't like DeMar's small. You know what I'm saying? I would say DeMar is more explosive, more athletically talented than Kawhi is. So it offsets. You have enough. Ye had enough. You were the number one team, and you got beat by Bron and the boys.
And
literally.
you got the game. Like we saw it throughout the whole regular
Exactly.
season. And in a couple of series prior to you meeting
Yep.
LeBron.
Yep.
But when you go against, and look, Kawhi never faced LeBron in the East with this Raptors team. We don't know. But what we do know,
It'd have been different. It'd have been different.
they would have got a
Kawhi
game.
Kawhi,
They would have got a game.
Kawhi don't fear
You said they would have
Bron.
got a game.
He don't at
Chill
all.
out, man.
He don't.
Three.
Kawhi do not
7.
fear
No,
Bron at all.
it could go 7 either way.
it'll win
I think
6 or
it'll win-
7,
Yeah,
yeah.
it would have won 6 or 7 either way.
No, it would have. Okay. To your point, yes, it would have went different.
Yeah.
The outcomes we don't know, but it would have been different.
It would have been different
Yes.
because Kawhi does
not
not
fear
fear
Bron.
Bron.
Nah.
You see
You
it.
see what Brian when he came back in the game? What Brian do? Damn.
Yep.
So,
He won. That wasn't.
oh, look,
okay.
look at him. He laughing. Yeah, that one. You
They
know it
just
was.
making that up.
So when he
man.
when he looked back and saw Kawhi come in, he was, dang, this motherfucker. Golly.
I was gonna
But
say
Kawhi isn't like he's not afraid of the Warriors.
He's
Like,
not
He ain't
afraid
afraid
of
of nobody.
Yeah.
a nigga with cornrows ain't afraid of shit. You know what I'm saying? We learned that from Pusha T. We learned that from a lot of
Udonis Haslem.
AI.
Yeah.
Udonis
Right.
niggas like that. They ain't afraid of nobody. They here to play.
And with a laugh like that, I'd be scared too.
That nigga don't know how to have no fun.
Yo.
That nigga don't laugh
man.
at all.
I think
Shit.
he's trolling with that laugh. Though.
No, man, that was
That's
for
him.
real.
Oh no, his
He was like-
last.
No, man.
He's too committed to that
He
type
was
of
too
personality.
committed to that laugh.
That-
But
that's
the
his
interviews though, because he been killing these interviews,
I'm
man.
telling you, man, that laugh. That's that should be their theme music if they win championship. If they win championship, that's I'm telling you.
Nah, but yeah, DeRozan, he in his apartment right now in the dark room, watching all the highlight tapes.
He hurt.
he hurt.
He hurt.
But
I feel him though,
and he goes through bouts of depression, so I'm glad he is talking it out.
Yeah.
Oh, he is for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Him and K Love.
Dang,
Yep,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, I remember hearing about K Love. I ain't know.
we know.
Rosen.
But to call yourself the sacrificial lamb, like, come on, man. Like,
He just wants to be part of the moment, man.
He
Yeah,
does.
he does.
But you gotta.
he always will be though, because he like if it wasn't for that trade,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They would have gotten here.
But he was
has-
the,
he
was
has-
the one guy that wanted to be there.
Yes, he wanted. Yeah,
And he built. Let's be honest. He was the foundational piece to get them to where they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just think about how deep that is in a sense that if we didn't draft him, we couldn't even trade for Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? Like on building it up on his back and then trading him off to get somebody that's even better. And that's just the business of basketball. And sometimes when you are so emotionally attached, right, to the process, right, to being like, yo, I'm doing this for Toronto, and you giving it your all, to see them have more success without you hurts way more.
To be
way
honest,
more.
I understand that, but at the same time, bro, you on a different team, you in a different atmosphere, a team that actually.
But
Well, I don't say they want you, but a team that you can still be successful with. Like, just move on.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Because the Spurs talking about trading him too.
yeah, he out of there.
Yeah. So
Papa knows.
Oh shit!
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. So you got to think about this too, Nick. This is the only thing he knows. He don't know nowhere else, bruh. From the moment that I was a rookie, from the moment that my name was called on draft night, all I know is Toronto. All I know is committing myself to making this a championship level team. When I got here, they was winning 20-some games. When I left here, we was winning 60-some games. Kyle Lowry, my best homie. We done made a lot of playoff rounds. Like my kids and his kids, they go to school together. Like we tight, bruh. Like it's different, Nick.
Yeah,
It's different. You're looking at it from a 2K perspective, and I know we talk a lot from the outside, but just put yourself because that's
No,
your profession. That's
I
your job.
get it. I get it. It didn't hit me until San Antonio said they was gonna trade him. Because then now I get it even more as far as you're
You're a commodity.
Like it's like that Will Smith,
Trade his
off of
spot.
Fresh Prince. It's like, why don't they want me, man? Like it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like what this is. He's the stereotypical or like the prototypical player that every NBA franchise always talks about. They want somebody who's willing to blood, sweat, and tears.
But you know what? And remember what I just said previously, right? Like this is the difference between the paycheck between Kawhi and DeMar, right? The value. What are you? Where do you rank in a championship level team? You know what he is? The third best player on a championship level team.
Who, DeMar?
Yeah.
Oh no, I won't say that. He could still be the second best player. He's talented enough. He
Nah,
can't
'cause
lead.
he was the second best in San Antonio. What
Thank
did that
you.
get him?
They didn't have a number one.
I thought he was better than L.A.
he is. LaMarcus is number 3.
So who's number one?
They don't have a number 1. They have DeMar, which is a prototypical number 2 or number 3.
Yeah.
Right? Best player on the championship team. And they have a number 3 best player on the championship team. They don't have a number 1. So DeMar's supposed to dominate even more. He really didn't. Right? Even down the stretch, the mental aspect of it, right? That we continue to criticize him and the Toronto Raptors for reared its ugly head in their last game to Denver. Did it not? Did they not foul? Did Popovich not try to control the game? You're not even looking at your coach, bro. That's mental toughness. Didn't have it. Doesn't have it. Not a champion. Can't be the second best player on the championship team, bro.
Shit, I mean, damn, bro. I thought this was supposed to uplift him.
Well, I'm sorry.
You put a nail in the coffin for his ass.
You know what? And here's the thing also. I mean, he never got a chance to play on that team with LeBron out of the East.
But no.
We don't got time for all that. We ain't got time for all that.
I'm just saying he
We ain't
has
got
to be thinking about that too.
No. But here's the thing though.
But you had
the
your
only
time.
Way, exactly.
No, he did.
No. Wait. Ken. He had multiple series. It's not like, you know what, Patrick Ewing and John Starks and them boys, they didn't lose no sleep for losing to Jordan because they left that all out on that court. And they played their hardest, and they took them Bulls
And
to
they at least
6 or
got
7
one.
games.
They at least got one.
And they
game.
beat them once, but it was without MJ.
No, I'm talking about they at least got one game in a series.
Oh yeah. No, they got a couple games.
Yeah.
They always push the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you lose and it hurts, if they disbanded it, then you feel a certain type of way, like, bro, we was right there, but DeMar was never right there.
Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying is he could be thinking while he had his shot, he could be thinking, well, it's easier for Kawhi because Kawhi don't have to go through LeBron.
Of course, because he's
That's what I'm
salty, mixed
saying.
salt.
Yeah, but you don't. But you were even a blip on the radar for
that is
those
a
runs.
factor.
No.
though.
It is, Ken, and I'll give you. But you are a professional athlete, and you should want to go against the best. If you gonna call yourself the best, or if in your mentality, right, and your player and your motivating factor is you wanting to be the best, then you got to beat the best.
And also on top of that, if it was anybody else but Kawhi, that argument holds up. But since Kawhi has faced LeBron in multiple
He not phased
like,
by him.
and he was the Finals MVP when he beat LeBron, it's like
We know.
And that was the
We
best.
know.
That's the best version of LeBron. That was
Yep.
even DeRozan faced. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just like,
Yep.
What
Yep.
are you really talking about there?
That second year,
That was the
That's the third.
third year. LeBron
No.
was still up there though.
He was still up there, but I don't know if that was the best.
The second year, well,
that was the third. That was the third year LeBron.
First and second year, Miami Braun was the best Braun, physically and IQ. Those two were the best.
But either way, like, I'm just saying, like, it's not an excuse, but I can see him making the argument. And everything you guys said is absolutely correct. But when you don't have to go through that, man, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And, but, DeMar should just be quiet. Dwayne Casey ain't saying shit.
Dwayne Casey, happy as hell.
He's probably trying to, and he was also a reason.
Big time.
Yep.
Because they didn't get out of mediocrity. See, adding the talent got them to being, 8-7-6 maybe, But when you add the coach, that puts you top 3. And that's what what's his name?
Nick
Dwayne
Nurse.
Casey.
Oh.
That's what Dwayne Casey did for them. Nick Nurse is dope.
That's crazy. Nick Nurse was on his staff.
He was on the staff.
Next year later.
Yeah.
But because I was like, where did this dude come from? But apparently he was winning titles in the G League.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand them elevating him to that role because he's coached in championship environments. So, but I just need the brothers to get it together and stop letting these white coaches come in and take all their glory.
But look,
I'm not blaming the white coaches. I'm talking to the brothers now.
No. I feel you, but I think Dwayne Casey left with his head held up high, and he already knew he was gonna get another job because sometimes.
Well, I don't know about that. I think
the man just won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but he got fired. What coach of the year usually get fired?
No, that
Byron
happens
Scott?
a lot. That
He got
happens a
hired
lot.
right
It
away.
He
happens.
probably understood the
Tom
business.
And look how hard it is
Thibodeau.
for Byron
Tom
Scott to
Thibodeau.
get a job now.
I mean,
Well,
years
he couldn't
later
coach.
now,
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Dwayne
He
Casey
couldn't
could
coach.
coach.
Dwayne Casey could
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Mark Jackson can coach.
We know that's something different.
That's
Yeah,
something
but I'm
different.
just saying, like, but how many times have we, like, look at D'Antoni. D'Antoni, we know what D'Antoni is.
He can
gonna be the
coach.
same dude.
Exactly,
but
he can coach.
But
He's
he
not a
don't
championship coach, but he can coach.
can coach,
Exactly.
man.
He gonna
Western
get you to the
Conference-
playoffs.
Yeah.
He gonna get
He gonna give you
to the
50
playoffs.
wins. He gonna give you
Yep.
50, 55 wins.
That's what Casey was doing. He still got. I'm just
And
saying,
he got
like,
another
they
job.
give a lot of people.
And he got another
And
job.
D'Antoni done got fired a couple times too.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, with black coaches though, they have a short lease with black coaches.
It depends on your pedigree. I mean,
Exactly.
Dwayne Casey when he got to Toronto Raptors, they was barely a 20-win season team. He turned them around to the year he
60.
won 60. Yeah, the most in franchise history.
So he's
yeah,
the Marvin
he's
Lewis of basketball.
No,
Nah.
No, because
He's not the Marvin
because
Lewis of
I think that
basketball.
they got rid of him at the right time. If
Yeah.
there was such a thing as the right time to get rid of a
Right.
coach of the year coach, it was the right time. And I think and we talked about this. Like GMs sometimes they tiptoe around the problem instead of addressing the elephant in the room and moving on. And that's the one thing Masai Ujiri has more than most GMs in the NBA.
Okay, so I've put out there that LeBron is a reason why these teams obviously have jumped to the forefront. So let me ask you this. Do you think if Dwayne Casey was coaching that Toronto team down 2 to the Bucks, they come back and win that series?
I don't think they beat Philly.
Okay. So
say that one more time. Hold on.
Down 0-2 against the Bucks.
Does
Dwayne Casey win 4 straight and win that series to go to the finals if he's the coach and not Nick Nurse? Can he make the right adjustments
with Kawhi or without Kawhi?
With Kawhi, with Kawhi.
Yeah, I trust.
I don't think they beat Philly,
and I don't think that they win 4 straight. But
you think they win the series?
I think they could win the series. I wouldn't put my money on them.
Because I mean his coaching.
They might not beat Philly, but Kawhi was on another
he
level.
was, but at the same time, it went to 7, and it was you know what I'm saying? Like it was the.
But
the
that series was all Kawhi.
Yeah, it was. But I'm just saying, I don't know if his coach.
Well, I ain't gonna disrespect Nick Nurse, but.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Nick Nurse has to get. If we gonna give y'all talk about me all the time by not giving Steve Kerr that much credit. We got to give Nick Nurse a lot of credit too.
No, I do.
But at the end of the day, right? Like we know that, especially playoff basketball, comes down to a couple possessions, and the possession that mattered most was all Kawhi.
Yeah,
get them open, and then it's all Kawhi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I think the Bucks was Nick Nurse coaching. I think Philly was part Nick Nurse coaching. The rest is all Kawhi.
I mean, the rest was mostly Kawhi.
Because if Kawhi ain't doing what he's doing, they're not gonna. Kawhi, you can argue that Kawhi beat Philly by his damn self. The way he was playing in some of those games,
I get
man, against that stacked team, it was something, man. It was something.
Well, I wanted to talk about since we on Kawhi and they in the finals, Game 2. So the Warriors won that. Was that the game? Is that the game defining series for this finals?
So let me.
But it could possibly bite them in the butt though. Possibly. Toronto.
No. Look,
I agree with B.
I
agree with B.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Let me break this all the way down.
All right, go ahead.
Because we got our own text thread for the people that don't know, and I was telling y'all that first game felt rusty. It felt
Golden
like
State.
For Golden State.
Yes.
They was right there.
I agree.
6 points. Every time they closed it, 6-4 points, boom, Toronto made a run.
Yep.
And they never had that extra gear that makes Golden State Golden State. The whole game, it felt like Toronto didn't play a perfect game, but they played as perfect as you could probably play in a first game against that team. The way they did.
They had their different version of rust. I think it was just first time there.
Who?
Toronto.
Yeah.
That's what it was for them.
They were a little. Everybody else was a little too big, and then they settled down, and then Siakam went crazy.
So each one had their little emotional.
Exactly, and then Kawhi was just physically done. He's just done. Right. You go to Game 2, felt the same till that third quarter hit, and
it was shot miss. It's a maker miss league.
Of course. But what do I always say? Right, besides my 3 to 5 theory, 20 points ain't jack. But when Golden State goes up, right, when they take that 10 or 12 or maybe even 14-point lead that you had, and in a matter of 5 to 6 minutes convert that into a 10 or 13-point lead of their own, that's a different 12 to 13-point lead, even without Klay. Are you serious? Every team this year has had their opportunity to beat a hobbled Golden State Warrior team, and everybody has failed. Why? They're the better team. Regardless of whatever pieces they
I
put
won't
out
say
there.
that. It was a lot of open shots they missed, man.
They went 6.5 minutes without even hitting the bucket coming out that third quarter.
And that was if they hit at least a couple buckets, that's the Warriors reset.
Do you understand that the majority of teams in the NBA go through stretches like that?
I get
the same way you go on a make run, you go on a miss run.
Yeah, but at the same time,
it was 20. Look at Philly. Look at Boston. Look, I'm just saying, look at the top 4 teams that could have potentially came out of the East. They go through those same runs. The only team that doesn't go through those runs at that period of time length is Houston. That's the only one.
It felt like to me that run was that Toronto's misses contributed a lot to it. It
Exactly.
It didn't feel like Golden State was doing anything to them.
Yeah,
but taking advantage of their
Toronto
cold streak.
They couldn't hit the ball.
Because Curry wasn't even really hitting threes like that. He was taking it like dribbling to the getting easy layups, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Because the
DeMarcus Cousins played good minutes for him.
He played really good minutes. I just think that it
6 assists.
And even towards the end of the game, who was it that made that three? Danny Green. Danny Green made a three to make it a 2-point game.
And then just when Andre Iguodala iced him out.
Yeah, that's when he it's still a real close game with time. Even when if Andre Iguodala misses that shot, that's at least 6 seconds left.
Oh, Kawhi almost got that steal.
Kawhi almost got a steal.
If he was
too.
a second slower to get, fast to get that steal, he was going the other way.
And that was a bad shot by Iguodala too.
It was a horrible shot.
Horrible.
But he made it, so it don't matter.
How was it horrible?
It's a playoff moment now.
Because
the
time on the clock.
Time on the clock.
Because he could have just dribbled it out.
More time. Yeah. And then it's not like it was Clay or Steph. With them two, you're like, okay.
And Iggy missed. Well, he was like 2 for 14.
Yeah.
Up until that point.
I get Toronto not really paying him no attention because it's like, okay, yeah, you ain't even 100%. You ain't been hitting shots like that.
Mm-hmm.
If Andre Iguodala beat us,
then it is
okay,
what it is.
Better than that than to say if Steph or Clay is out there wide open, then you looking at coach like, yo, what the hell was that?
Exactly.
What was that defensive scheme?
But you still got to run at him.
I mean, Call came with his hand a little bit, but
they were defeated when they saw that. It was like, oh damn.
If Iggy hitting it, it's a wrap.
Right. If Iggy hit that, that's a wrap. I'm still okay with him. Better than him than Steph and Clay.
Did you think it was going in? I did.
I did too. I did too because Iggy. This is why, and I was gonna text it to you, but I wanted to say it on. I think the most important Warrior, probably throughout this 5-year run that they've had, is probably Andre Iguodala. Because
he's their stickiest glue.
The shots that
Draymond might be second.
Every time that they need something from Iggy, does he not come through and deliver?
Yeah.
Like in Houston, do they even get to the Western Conference Final if it wasn't for Iggy?
Did you hear what he said? He plays to protect Steph Curry's legacy.
Yeah. He said that.
And that says a lot about Steph Curry.
He says that.
Because Steph, he didn't even take a shot in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't?
He was 0 for 0.
He didn't score.
Oh, you mean he didn't make a shot?
Yeah, he didn't make a shot in the fourth quarter.
Did he take a shot?
I don't know if he. I
don't
know if
think he took
one.
a shot either.
I just know he was scoring.
Yeah,
less
he was
in the fourth.
Yeah, fact check it for me, please. I know I'll be wrong sometimes.
And they still lost.
You see what I'm saying? You see, and that's why I said that they're the better team, because even when your best player doesn't play, it's all about execution. Healthy. But it's all about execution, and that is the coaching staff. And that's what the biggest advantage Golden State has, regardless of the talent. The biggest factor that Golden State is why Popovich's teams are always so feared. It's why the Patriots are so feared. It's not about the talent that they put out there. It's about executing what we came to do.
Curry scored 0 points in the fourth quarter.
I know he didn't score.
Yeah, did he
take a shot?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. But he definitely didn't score in the fourth quarter.
I think if Toronto would have been able to stave off that run and score, I think we're looking at a different game.
That's what I'm saying.
For me, it didn't feel like a traditional Golden State. You know what a Golden State third quarter run feel like. That didn't feel like
because Clay wasn't there.
But it still didn't feel like that swell that's coming on.
Of course, but Ken, first of all, you know they're missing Mr. Easy Money Sniper.
No,
right?
I understand all that. But you're saying that, okay, go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying is that Golden State made the plays that they had to make. Yeah, it didn't feel like
that's championship DNA.
Of course,
but everybody's talking about the run like it was in terms of stats,
it wasn't devastating. It wasn't devastating.
Right.
Because Golden State, when they go on runs like that, they devastate you offensively and defensively.
And you feel defeated. Toronto didn't feel defeated. They came back.
Yeah. No, they did come back. However, that's why I continue to reiterate the statement: the best team was shown last night.
But
Curry did not shoot a shot in the fourth quarter.
Okay, yeah. So
the best team.
But my thing is,
Clay only shot once. Clay only took one shot and missed in the fourth quarter.
But my thing is with the way that the game ended for game 2, you said that was more for coaching, because I think it was good coaching on Toronto. Like if we're gonna if we're gonna let Iggy shoot, and granted, maybe they should have somebody at least put a hand up, but it's still Iggy. My thing is if Kawhi gets there's a lot of ifs. I know we drinking right now, but if Kawhi gets that steal, it's a wrap. If Iggy misses a shot, that's a long rebound. And the Warriors have not been good at long rebounds this whole series, or probably even up to this point in the playoffs since the Western Conference Finals. So, in my opinion, I think that was the biggest game for Toronto to take care of home court advantage going into Game 3, especially that Klay Thompson may not play and KD definitely ain't playing. KD might even come back. As much shit as they trying to talk about him come, will he and won't he?
But see, that's where I disagree.
If you go up 2-0 going on the road,
that's where I disagree with you, because I think they can get one at Golden State.
I think so too, but it's a lot easier to get one than to have the series tied up and now you're going back, because that's what Golden State was supposed to do. You're supposed to get at least one.
But you're not in. I mean, we're talking about a team that was down 0-2 to the Bucks, best team in the league. Current MVP.
Beat them 4 times in a row.
Yeah, they're very, very resilient. We saw that when they survived the run and came back and got it within 2.
Because Philly tested them too.
Yeah, and
They've
Philly
been tested.
too. Yeah,
Toronto's been tested all playoffs.
But all those teams ain't the defending champions.
No, we get that.
But the defending champions are hobbled. They're hobbled. They're vulnerable.
They're vulnerable.
Yeah,
they're the most vulnerable that they've ever been.
Yeah, and even if they were not, I still think they're a very confident team, and I give credit to Nick Nurse and the stability of Kawhi Leonard. So I don't think they look at that loss as a missed opportunity. I think they look at that loss as like, oh, we make a couple of shots. We got this. Yeah. Like, I think they can come out of that confident. I said this to somebody. I think it was Ashton from 3P Set when they were here Sunday. I said it feels like it's Detroit, LA all over again. When Detroit slipped up and lost that second game, and they were like, man, we could beat them. We just let one get away. And
yeah, Bomani Jones has been saying that a lot.
That's how it feels to me. Like, because they were up 12. They made it was, and I'll tell you the pivotal moment, the key moment for me in that game was they were up like 12 or 14 or 11, one or the other. But Norman Powell took a 3 and he missed. And when he missed that 3, the crowd was ready to go crazy. He missed it, and then that's when Golden State went on that 9-2 run because Steph hadn't even scored. Then Steph started hitting the shots, and the series changed. They were down by 5. But it still felt like okay, well, it's basketball's a game of runs. They went on theirs. We just come out in the third quarter, reestablish control, and we'll be okay. And then they start missing, and then they start missing. Golden State started making. They were like, oh, shit. And mentally, I think they cracked a little.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think once you don't see the ball go in like it was, especially with Game 1, you going off that high. Yeah, it's hard. It's pretty hard.
But once they got back to playing their ball, and once they kind of stabilized everything.
So let me ask you, why do you feel that Toronto can still beat them even though they're hobbled?
The defense. I think their defense is very, very good. Yes, it's a very good defense.
5 studs on defense.
Golden State hasn't seen a defense like to this level yet in the playoffs. So I think the defense, their length, I think the only thing that's going against Toronto is their inexperience. You know, and I think some of that showed in Game 2 when they could make shots.
And there's a lot of pressure on Steph this upcoming game.
I think also Kawhi not being healthy, I think that helps, but Golden State healthy, so we're going to, you know. So
when I look at the X's and O's of what Nick Nurse is doing, right, because I think he's been the best coach in terms of adjustments this entire playoff run, right? What he did once Klay was out the game.
The Boston one?
Just blitzing Steph and getting the ball out of Steph's hand. This is why Draymond is so invaluable, because now Draymond starts picking you apart because he already has a numbers advantage. You put 2 guys on Steph 40 feet away from the basket. Every time that they went in the pick and roll with Draymond and Steph, they left Draymond. So to
dribble, alley-oops to Bogut and everybody. Yeah, he did. Toronto they haven't seen that yet. Now they got film on it.
No. But see, this is the beauty. This is why I always say Steph is their most important player. It doesn't matter how much film you got. What are you
still gonna create a disadvantage because it'll be 2
because what other choice? What other choice do you have? What other type of defense do you play on Steph Curry?
I feel you.
Going into Game 3,
and that matters.
Is that the same? Are you still?
So I'm saying Klay's out.
Okay, that's where I was going. That's where I was going.
You got Boogie and you got Draymond.
Yes.
Right?
And a hobbled Iggy.
And everybody else.
And everybody else. as a coach, right? I'm putting my X's and O's hat on.
What coach
right
are
now.
you? Nick Nurse or
Nick
Steve Kerr?
Nurse.
Okay.
Steph is obviously the only lethal weapon. You got to take him out. However, they still got guys that can play. And I think that once you put your defense at a disadvantage like that repeatedly, Golden State's IQ is too high.
Okay.
You said they still got guys that can play.
Yes.
Who are you talking about outside of Draymond?
Draymond, Boogie, Bogut.
Boogie just getting back in the
Hey,
shape,
but
though.
Boogie
was balling.
Boogie played some really solid
Boogie
minutes.
played some really
He
good
played some
minutes,
really
but
good
can you
minutes,
count on
man.
him? Because now you're leaning on him to fill
Man,
Klay
Boogie helped win
Thompson's.
that game
No,
for them.
wait. This is all I need Boogie to do. Boogie hit open shots. Boogie make plays. Boogie get boards. Boogie take hard fouls.
But now
Those assists?
That's
no,
what I'm
those
saying.
assists
Man.
were nice.
Make
I'm just
plays.
saying, like, now Klay's out, KD's out, the scoring load, and what you already were expecting of Boogie is now doubled, right?
Well, no, you want
Because
Boogie-
11, 10, and
no,
6 ain't going to win a game 3.
Boogie just
It
need
won
to play.
game 2.
That's with Klay.
Boogie just needs to play the game that comes to him. He don't need to force nothing. He don't need the extra mojo. We don't need you for that. We need you to be.
But they got
Boogie.
defenders for him.
No, but
No, they don't.
you can't
No,
stop
they
the
don't.
pass, bro.
Who they got going to defend Boogie? Because I ain't seen it. Gasol?
I think Gasol and Ibaka can do a good job on him.
They have
Ibaka?
it. They have
I
it.
think
Ibaka played
they
like
have
those are
shit.
you're talking about the guy who one time in the NBA led the league in blocks. You talking about Marcus?
That
he
Gasol,
was a different
Who's
player.
that one time, Nick?
who's
This
a-
is 2019.
I'm just saying that's more than one time that
2000
Boogie's ever done.
What has he done?
You
in
got
the
Marcus
Raptors?
Gasol,
Don't-
who's a defensive player of the
Okay,
year.
okay.
Boogie
What
got
has
2010
has
guy.
Ibaka ever done what Boogie done?
Exactly.
What is that?
2010.
Has
2010.
I'm talking about,
Please.
has Boogie ever been to the final? This is the first time Boogie's in the
So?
playoffs.
None of that's
And
irrelevant,
he
Nick.
balling.
That's irrelevant.
We're talking
In
about
all the games he
experience.
played, he
We're talking-
balled.
And-
All the games he played, he
Hey,
balled.
the
Except for
three-pointers,
the
the
don't make-
rebounds,
don't
the
make me
free
come at
throws,
Boogie.
all those
Don't make me
assists.
come-
Come
y'all-
on at
y'all gonna
Boogie. Come on at Boogie.
Boogie is inexperienced.
'Cause all you're gonna give me
He's
is
out
all
of
the talking
shape.
points.
He's inexperienced, out of shape, and the moment maybe too. We haven't seen him win in a
Did
big
that
moment
cost
yet.
them in game 2?
He didn't have to. We didn't rely. I'm talking about game 3. We're
I'm
not
talking about
we're not-
game 2.
They already won game 2.
Everything you said
But
that was a factor in
who
game
was
2,
all there?
whether it was
Who
or
was
not.
all there in game 2? That's not going to be there game 3.
So let me ask
And when
you.
Klay went out, who was on the court in the fourth
Exactly.
quarter?
But that was after their third quarter run, right?
Look. As long as he stays out of foul trouble.
If they don't have
if
that-
he stays out of foul trouble, Nick, you mean to tell me he can't get 14 points and 14 points ain't enough for Golden State to do
No,
what
14
they do?
points is not enough. 14 points is not enough for them to win the game 3 with only Steph as their legit weapon. Y'all just said that.
But
Against Kawhi,
but listen,
Siakam,
but listen,
Van Vliet.
listen.
But you
Lowry-
said Ibaka, nigga.
I'm-
Ibaka ain't motherfucking shit. This motherfucker ain't been shit
He
since he
ain't.
left fucking Toronto.
I'm
the
talking.
Thunder.
I'm talking about. First of all, Ibaka had a good game.
When?
What was it against the Bucks to close out the Bucks?
This is not.
And I'm
that's the
talking. I'm not.
Bucks,
I'm not
man.
talking about Ibaka going tit for tat with Boogie. I'm talking about guard.
You
Y'all
said
said
it like
guarding.
he was.
You said guarding. I
He
said they got
cannot guard Boogie, bro.
not for a whole 48 minutes. Of course not. But he can guard him.
No,
he
he
had to guard him.
can't.
He had to
Look,
guard
look,
Embiid.
look.
He had to guard Giannis.
Nick,
These
Nick,
niggas ain't just
Nick,
slouches. What are you talking about?
Nick, let me
Thank you, B.
Not
Thank
the block.
you.
Nick,
God
let me
damn.
let me break something down for you.
Y'all be all
Nick,
right,
let me
man.
break something down for you. It's the beautiful thing about basketball that I love so much is that to be a dominant player, I don't have to dominate scoring. And Boogie in the minutes, especially in that second game, was dominant in what he wanted to do because you could not stop him. You couldn't stop him. It wasn't about the scoring. It's not about getting 30 points. It's about control.
Can we? So, Klay Thompson being on the Warriors, it creates spacing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson not being on the Warriors. Have you seen their record without Klay Thompson? They have a losing record without Klay Thompson.
Okay.
That's y'all.
They got a winning record with Steph Curry, though.
Oh, okay. We'll
Probably
see.
with Klay
We'll
Thompson
see.
there, though.
I'm just saying.
Probably.
I'm saying without Klay Thompson, that's less space. Like that's more
I get
clutter
that.
It's
in
a
the
problem.
lane.
No,
it's
no
gonna be a
problem.
problem.
But listen-
So then, how the hell is he
How?
going? How the hell he going? You talking about 14 points?
Ken, what was the scenario I posed to you when I had my X's and O's hat on? What was the picture that I painted so eloquently that the youngin over here doesn't remember?
Steph being double teamed, Draymond getting the ball, picking people apart.
He's saying Boogie need to just make shots, and I'm saying he has to score at least 20 to 25 points
That's
for them to
what
win
I
Game
remember.
3.
I'm old
So-
though.
so-
Can he do that? Can you do that?
He can.
Will he do that?
I don't know.
His condition.
Ain't
The
nothing
way y'all talking, you said he is talented. Ibaka ain't shit. Then
He can.
Then he should
I don't know if he is.
If he don't
like you say, he's out of shape, bro. It was 14 fucking playoff games in between he played,
But
and he's never been in the playoffs before.
He's getting more and more in condition.
He's only played 2 playoff games
Hey,
ever.
man, but that's that
Ever.
game 2. It was.
And you know what?
Wait. Two playoff games.
He's never been in a playoff
Yeah.
game.
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay,
But
this is the
no,
NBA
He
finals.
played in the
But
playoff
Nick,
game before. That's when he
when?
got hurt in the playoffs, didn't he?
No,
No,
it was before the playoffs.
that was before the playoffs.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was.
But
But Nick, when you watch when you
Oh, he just
watch
go,
him play, I know
that's
right?
what it is. It's for the playoffs. Come on, we in the NBA finals.
But look,
it
look,
doesn't matter about
but
you
has
not
it
playing
looked-
in it. What are you doing now that you're there?
Wait, exactly. And has it looked like the moment has been too big for Boogie?
I'm not saying that.
But I'm asking you.
No, it hasn't.
What? Okay.
No, it hasn't.
So
What-
then
do you hear-
wait, hold on. Let me pause you right there. So then whatever is about to come out of them lips of yours don't make no sense then, because you just
no.
said that the moment has not been too big, and we also recognize that Boogie as a big man is top 5 as a big, right?
When healthy.
When healthy. Now, today.
I'm saying this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. The moment hasn't been too big because the moment hasn't gotten too big for him just yet. When he played in game 2, you had Steph, you had Clay, you got Draymond. Nobody's expecting, but the expectations was all the way down here. Grasshopper expectations. Now that game 3, where he is the number 2 option. He's the number 2 option. Scoring and defensive help. He's the number 2 option.
And you think
And you
that's gonna
telling
be
me
a
now
problem?
that
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just wondering.
I'm saying,
What are you saying is
I'm
like?
saying
Why?
this is his 3rd playoff game ever.
And he wants it. Do you not see this big man that just tore?
I'm changing my pick. I'm going for the Warriors now. I'm changing my pick.
Look at this.
I keep telling you.
What did Boogie just injure?
Goddamn Boogie like.
What was it? His quad?
It was a quad, yeah.
Bro, this man
Oh
tore his
my
quad,
God.
came back. He's diving on the floor. Boogie wants it, man.
I'm not trying to talk shit about Boogie.
And
but
I'm not saying that
but you gotta
are,
be
but what
realistic.
I'm saying he is
I'm
talking
being
shit about
realistic.
Boogie.
I'm being realistic because this is not a first or second or third or fourth year Boogie. This is Boogie 6, 7, 8 years in. He's been an NBA vet. I've been showing you I got 25 points a game. I've been showed you all of that. Now, you think I'm a coward? Boogie,
I
the
didn't
type
say he
of
was a
nigga.
coward.
Wait, hold on. No.
I didn't say he was a coward.
The type of nigga Boogie is made out of, the type of cloth he's cut from.
I'm
you
not saying
think
that.
that he's gonna cower in the moment, or the moment's gonna be too big for Boogie?
Have you ever seen
For
Boogie in a moment
I
like
don't want-
this?
there's
Have you
my
ever seen
friend-
Boogie in a
there's
moment
my
like
friend I
this?
ain't gotta know.
FIFA, have you ever seen Boogie in a moment like this?
I ain't even gotta know.
Why did he
I'm
try to go to
asking you a
States
question.
to get a title, right?
Exactly.
Shit, this is his moment, man.
I'm asking you a
He ain't
question.
even supposed to be
I'm
playing right
asking you
now.
a question. Has Boogie ever been in a moment like
And-
this before? Going into game 3, has he ever been asked to do what he's about to do?
Didn't
Or
they
could
play in
do.
the championship in Kentucky?
I thought
Did
they
they?
did.
No, they got knocked out.
Okay. It don't matter though.
So
It
then
don't
why?
matter.
So then why y'all acting like this is Patrick Ewing
because
or
there's
Hakeem
still no
Olajuwon or
pressure.
something?
There's still no pressure on
This
Boogie.
nigga, no,
Oh, wait,
There's
whoa,
still
whoa,
no
whoa,
pressure.
what do you say
hold
about
on,
Giannis?
slow
What did y'all
down.
say about Giannis? What did y'all
Wait
say
a
about
minute.
Giannis? He a young boy, and what he got to do? He got to get beat up in the playoffs before he can get.
No, I
Time out.
understand that, but that's
B.
that's team though.
Real quick, when the Rockets and Houston played in the finals, was that Patrick Ewing's first time being in the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Was that his first?
What'd he do?
No, I'm
Shit
asking you a
his pants.
question.
What did he do?
Shit his pants.
Hey, Patrick Ewing.
Diarrhea.
It went 7, bro.
It went 7.
It
bro.
went 7. He got off.
Then
I'm thinking Shaq. I'm thinking
Okay,
Shaq. I'm
okay.
thinking
I'm
Shaq.
asking you a
Shaq
question.
still put up
Was-
numbers.
I-
He
that's
did.
not the
So
question.
I'm not
That's
buying the.
That's
this
not
is
the
my
same
first time.
thing. That's not the same thing. Because was that his first time in the
What-
playoffs ever?
what did
Was
you-
that the
what
first
did
time
you
in his
just
playoffs
ask me?
ever? Was that the first time in the playoffs ever you saw Patrick Ewing in the finals?
But let me ask you.
No,
before-
it's not.
But,
No,
but-
it's not.
But before Patrick went to the playoffs, while Patrick was in Georgetown, did you have any question that the moment was going to be too
You
big
going
for
back
him?
to college? I'm talking
I'm
about
just
what's right
saying.
now. I'm talking
No,
about right now.
what I'm saying
talking
is,
about we've never
look,
asked Boogie to do what
there's
he's about to
certain
do.
Players
guys-
perform when the lights are the brightest.
Exactly. There's certain guys that you just know when they in that moment. Like Kyrie. I've been saying about Kyrie. Even when Kyrie went to that first 3-point contest he won, we was doing that in sports and we asked each other, and I said Kyrie gonna win because he won it. Kyrie is not going to cower for the moment. AI is not going to cower for the moment.
Hey, when Jason Tatum was in the playoffs for the first time as a rookie, did it look like he was scared?
He didn't look like no damn rookie to me.
I'm not saying he's scared.
And he had to carry the load.
I didn't say he was scared.
And he dunked on Bron.
I'm talking about expectations.
Game 7.
Y'all expected him to carry this team to a win in Game 3, and I'm saying hell no.
Nobody's saying expecting to carry. We're just saying he is the number 2 option.
He's never been a number
team.
2 option on a championship level team with championship expectations.
But he came there to be.
He
on
came there to win it,
team.
to get a chip.
I don't understand why you holding something like that. That's you can't really measure against him.
Because I'm telling you to lower your expectations. Because I don't
Why
think
not?
Boogie
Because
Cousins
I've seen Boogie as the number 1 option going against everybody in the motherfucking
in the
league
final.
every
But this is
goddamn
the
night.
NBA Finals. This is the ultimate
Exactly.
game. This is the ultimate series.
And in Game 2, where did he show you that he's
But he
not
wasn't.
ready?
I didn't say he wasn't ready, but
Why
he
do
wasn't
you think
asked
that-
because he wasn't asked to do that much.
But-
He was asked to just be like, "Hey, Boogie, we need some good minutes from
I'm
you."
gonna tell
What
you,
did I say in the
I
text?
disagree with that, and I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
said, what did I say in the
He
text?
wasn't asked to do that much.
I said, Boogie, if Boogie doesn't have a good game tonight, then he may never win. He may never get a big contract.
And only you care about that. I don't care about
because
that. That stuff is irrelevant.
Because people want to see what he looks like in these moments.
No,
this
no,
is what.
they don't.
This is what. What do we always say?
Nobody
Superstars get made in the playoffs. Do they not?
Bro, they're not
Do they
going to
not?
grade Boogie Cousins in the finals on him just now coming back from a quad injury, knowing that he's not 100% healthy. They're not going to say, this man that just came back from a 14-game absence, we can't pay that because he only did 11, 10, and 6. They're going to be saying, like, this man came back from 14 games and put up 11, 10, and 6 and carried that team in
They're
game
looking
2.
at. They're looking at everything he's doing. Like, what did he do to contribute to this this run that the Golden State Warriors are going on?
And I'm going to tell you what he did. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with what you said. He went from playing, 7, 8 minutes or so in the first game? First game back in Game 1. Steve Kerr put him in the starting lineup in just his second game back after missing 14 games. That's asking a lot out of him. That's putting him in the moment. You're starting in an NBA Finals game. In that second quarter, he put up 7 points. He had a big 3. He grabbed 2 big rebounds. He had 4 straight 3-pointers. He played good defense, got a couple of blocks, moved his feet. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. The passes he made in the third or fourth quarter, and you mean to tell me that he give more minutes and more responsibility that he can't step up to the plate?
I'm saying I don't expect it. He can, but I do not expect it.
Well, why don't you expect it out of somebody that
because he's still getting his legs wet in this type of environment.
Nah, man. Like
He's still
right.
fresh.
This how I know you're not a hooper.
Is he not
This
greasing
is how I
this?
know you're not a hooper, bro.
He'll
This
be
how I
alright.
know you're not a hooper.
All right.
dog.
He'll be
This how I
alright.
know.
All right, but
This
you
how I know.
were talking
This
all
how
that
I
about
know.
Giannis as far as he got to
See
get
me
beat
on
up
the
in the
court.
player. You said
that's how man answer all this.
Well, first of all, we know that's gonna happen. We gonna record that
See
too.
me on the court.
But I'm just saying,
See me on
we
the
was
court.
talking about Giannis. We talking about everybody who's young. They got to get beat up in the playoffs. Nobody's ever since Magic Johnson. No one's ever came in into the playoffs.
Giannis
Take
wasn't
over.
Wait. But here's the thing, though. It's when you're the number 1 option on a championship team.
When is
But hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
Let me
Go
speak.
ahead.
Let me speak. Boogie had that opportunity in Sacramento, never worked out, right? Because it's supposed to be a relationship between the best player and management to get other great players around me when you realize how great I am, right? That's their job. My job is to be great. Boogie has always been great, right? So partly of the reason why he hasn't made the playoffs is him and his temperament and a lot of other factors. However, he has never been in a situation to be the number 1 option on a championship team. Even now, he's not a number 1 option on a championship team. Therefore, the pressure is not the same for him as it is Steph, as it is Clay, as it is a lot of other players on that squad. Okay. So that allows a talented player to go out there and play freely, because I got a chip on my shoulder to prove to all of you motherfuckers that I need a max contract anyway, and I'm a Rough Rider type of dude. I know big-ass Marc Gasol can't guard me. All of you little mugs can't guard me. Give me the ball. Maybe I don't have my legs. But God, in terms of anybody 6'10" and taller in this series, you rather take them over Boogie? Shit.
No one said that. What I'm saying is that the pressure that he has on him obviously is not as big as what you said for those 3 players, Steph, Clay, and Dre. But there's a lot of pressure to be number 2 in this game. And he's never been in this type of situation before. And I'm not saying he can't step up, but I'm not expecting him to. I'm expecting him to lose this game. And y'all acting like they gonna win this game.
No, I mean I ain't saying all that.
Nigga, you just said I was changing my whole pick off of this whole game and this whole argument.
No, what I'm saying is that I expect Boogie to step up. I'm not gonna discredit Boogie because Boogie after game 1 sent the text to everybody was like, trust me. He's like, trust me, I got it. And he delivered in game 2. So now that Clay might be out and Kevin Durant is out, what do you think he's saying now?
He want it.
Give me y'all predictions for this game 3. Give me y'all predictions game 3.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm not going to judge Boogie's game solely on points because I feel that diminishes him as a basketball player.
Because he's to dominate.
I'm not saying that either. But I do expect him to score.
I'm expecting a dominant performance, and that doesn't necessarily mean he scores 25 or 30 points. That doesn't mean
he doesn't need to score 25 to 30. I just need he needs to for them to make an impact on this game because Steph can't.
He could dominate with 14. I'm telling you,
14 points ain't gonna cut it.
But if he get 14 points, 15 rebounds,
11 did. 11, 10 assists.
Yeah, Clay was playing.
Clay didn't play. Clay got hurt.
Clay was there for that third quarter run was the game. When we look back 2020, that was the game. Quarter. If they don't go up by, it's like they were down by 12, and they went up by 6 before they called a timeout.
Did Clay play in the fourth quarter?
He did not.
All right.
Did they need Boogie in the fourth quarter?
Did Curry score? Because they needed somebody to score in the fourth quarter.
And it was Iggy.
Iggy hit one shot.
Iggy hit the game-sealing shot.
Okay. But it doesn't matter. But, again, championship-level teams execute under the most
and everybody
duress.
Contributes.
Exactly.
Boogie contributed. Iggy did his thing.
And you expect him to so Boogie will be, if they win game 3, it's because of Boogie. If Boogie does not show up, they lose game 3. Is that what y'all saying?
I'm just saying I expect Boogie to do what he do.
Exactly.
So regardless of what Boogie does, that won't affect game 3.
There are a lot of things that can affect game 3. It's not going to come down to one
Boogie.
guy.
We've been arguing about Boogie. I'm asking about Boogie because he's a big piece.
I'm going to tell you like this. Boogie's aggression level is what's going to determine that. So if it's a good game or not.
So if he's aggressive, that's all. So then game 3 does. Boogie has a big say in what happens in game 3.
I can't say that, man.
Boogie.
So then what are we talking? What are we arguing here for?
I'm just saying that nobody on the Raptors can guard Boogie Cousins.
Then he has a presence. Then he has a say in what happens in game 3.
He's gonna have a presence throughout the finals, regardless, bro.
You just want him to say
because I know he want to say it. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to say it.
I was asking for y'all predictions.
Because I'm being very reasonable here. I know the man just missed 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
But do I expect an improvement off 11, 10, and 6 or whatever he got? Absolutely.
How big of an improvement then?
I can't say that. I can't say he's going to go out there and do what he was doing.
So you're expecting more than 11, 10, and 6 or something better than 11, 10, and 6?
I expect Boogie to do what Boogie's been doing.
Y'all just okay.
I'm not.
I'm in a ballet class because there's a lot of dancing going on.
I'm not dancing.
There's a lot of dancing going on.
I don't know what the numbers are gonna be.
He had like he wanted us to say Boogie gonna score 25.
I'm not saying that. I want y'all to double down on what y'all saying about Boogie. Y'all saying he's the most talented big man in the playoffs, top 5. Y'all saying that what he contributed in game 2 is the reason why they won game 2.
So why do
y'all saying that now that Clay is out? I'm not saying put a number. I'm saying
is he not the most talented big man in the finals right now?
The most talented big man in the finals. I mean, okay.
I mean, you said that with a question mark, like we were wrong.
No, I'm saying I'm going with what y'all said. I'm just telling y'all what y'all been telling me. Mm-hmm. So if Boogie is all that, then game 3 he will show up and have an impactful game. That's what I want y'all to say.
Yeah,
is that what y'all saying?
But okay. But we haven't been saying anything else because we were saying the last game was impactful with 11 points. So again,
but no, he said he expects improvement on that 11
Why
points.
Not?
12 points is an improvement on
okay,
on 11
but
points.
That's not that's not enough to win the game.
But it's impactful. It's about how aggressive Boogie plays.
If Boogie drops 12 points, they lose that game. If Boogie don't get more,
you know what? I hope Boogie scores 8 points and they win the game. Watch. Look. The way that Nick,
if you think that would happen, that's laughable.
Nick, the reason why he doesn't have to score like that is because of how they play for each other. It could be what's the other point guard?
Quinn Cook.
Yeah. Cook. No. Listen.
That nigga hit 3 big threes.
He did. But that was with Steph and Clay in the lineup too.
But all I'm saying
Quinn Cook ain't doing shit.
That was in the fourth quarter.
But all I'm saying is that Quinn Cook could go on a little run. You know what I'm saying? He can score in bunches. He's their version of Leandro Barbosa. You know, bro, like they still good. and everybody's gonna contribute, which is why Boogie don't have to be Boogie of yesteryear. He don't have to go put up 28 and 13 to even.
And before this final start, I said these injuries are gonna pile up, and eventually it will break the Warriors because you can't keep losing teammates like this and it not just affect you.
Okay.
And the fact that y'all think that, oh yeah, shit, Clay's gone, insert Boogie, and we still gonna get going. I'm like, that's not the same case because Boogie's never been in this situation before. He's never been the number 2 option on a championship level team.
But you know what though? But Boogie has the IQ and the skill set to be that. He just was never that because he wasn't afforded that opportunity.
If he proves me wrong, I'll be willing to say I'm wrong. But right now, I don't expect this game to be close. I don't expect this game to be close.
Wait, hold on. A lot of pressure.
I don't expect this game to be close.
In college, that's a lot of pressure.
He ain't do shit in college.
Let me bring it full circle.
What was the last image you remember of that Kentucky team?
Let me bring it full circle.
Tell me what happened.
Forget Kentucky. We ain't talking no college. We ain't talking NCAA. Let me bring it full circle. You put Boogie on any team because he's on the most stacked team in the NBA, right? And he's still a factor. You put him on any team in the NBA, what does he do?
26 and 13.
You put Kyle Kuzma on any team in the NBA, what do you do? You don't know. You don't know.
The fact that you have to reach down for Kyle Kuzma means that y'all expectations are all over the damn place. I'm asking a simple question.
Boogie
will
is
Boogie
going
make
to
an
have
impact
an impact.
on? Okay.
Yes.
So
you want me to put numbers on it?
I'm not saying that. So, but impact as far as you expect, the impact that he had in Game 2, is that enough to win Game 3, in your opinion?
Obviously, he's gonna have more opportunities to be even more aggressive. Exactly.
So you're expecting
more minutes. There's gonna be more shots.
His productivity is gonna
be
more.
Okay.
Yes, his productivity is gonna be more. But however, field goal percentage he shoots, however many points he gets, isn't going to be what dictates them winning and losing. It's about, honestly, how many rebounds is Boogie gonna get? How many good screens to get Steph open? Because they got to get Steph more open shots. And it's only going to be harder because you don't have Clay and KD. That's who it affects. It's not going to affect Boogie. Boogie's going to get his. Boogie has a very high-level IQ basketball.
I just don't understand how we went from, I think you were around, when Boogie signed, was you around that time?
Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, man, that's unfair.
Super unfair.
But now, all of a sudden, Boogie's a liability.
I think he's this version of Boogie may be.
I don't understand.
Coming off an injury?
Yeah, because he's coming off an injury and he's not out of shape. Is this the Boogie you was thinking about when he signed with Golden State?
Bro, I'm hella out. Look, man, look.
Yes, he is. Story coming up.
I'm just being honest. Months ago, me and B hooped in the same league, bro. I'm hella out of shape. I'll be the first to admit that shit, right? Bro, I come out here and bust like 6-7-3. You don't think Boogie missing what was it, 2-3 weeks can come back here and just get back in a rhythm?
No disrespect.
He is a NBA professional that shoots basketballs every month.
No disrespect to you and what you and B did and y'all.
That's cool.
Y'all team. But it wasn't nothing like the NBA Finals, and
y'all
wasn't playing competition like the NBA Finals.
That's kind of his point.
His point is that I can, if I'm out of shape, I can come back and bust 6 threes. Boogie Cousins can do the same thing
because Boogie is a professional athlete who does that for his.
But this is a different level. But he's going against other professional athletes,
and Boogie has that much more talent.
No, who've been playing playoff games for years, who have experience and been in situations like this. He has not.
Well, it's a lot of Raptors that haven't been in the same situation too, Nick.
Not the ones that are not comparison to what Golden State's got going on right now.
Siakam never.
Yeah, but we got Kyle Lowry. We got Danny Green.
Kyle Lowry never been.
We got Marcus Gasol. We got
Kyle Lowry.
Never been to the finals.
The whole starting 5 has been in the deeper playoffs than Boogie.
But we're talking about.
But only 2 people got championship experience.
3. Danny Green, Kawhi, and Ibaka. Finals. Have played in the finals.
Yeah.
All them other niggas ain't played in the finals.
What's Ibaka back then in OKC?
Okay.
He was coming out the bench.
But let me ask you this. No KD. No Clay. Shit. Kawhi fucked up Kevin Looney. This nigga done.
Yeah, Kevin Looney done. He's done.
Kevin Looney ain't that super.
He's out indefinitely. He's out indefinitely. Yeah, he's out indefinitely.
Wouldn't you be happy to have Boogie right now?
Yeah, you're happy. They were happy to have Boogie when he signed.
So it would be great to have Boogie as a second or third option after losing all that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why
it's great to have him because you ain't got shit left. So if I ain't got shit left and I got Boogie,
But
then yeah, it's great to have him.
Then you should be thrilled that Boogie's
Thrilled?
Absolutely.
I am worried. Like
are
every
because he's coming off injury. That's why you're worried.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about a healthy Boogie Cousins. That's what I'm saying. Don't make me talk
But
shit about Boogie
he's
Cousins.
as healthy as he's gonna be.
A healthy Boogie Cousins is something that everybody will want.
50% Boogie Cousin or 100% Kevin Looney or Jordan Bell.
I'm taking Looney.
I'm taking Boogie.
Get out of here, Nick.
I'm taking Looney.
Why, Nick?
I'm taking Looney. Because I don't want no damn hobble Boogie Cousins.
But he's still better.
He's
still better than all
Kawhi
them
when
guys.
you did that shit to DeMarcus Cousins. If Kawhi bumped into DeMarcus Cousins, do you think he would have been doing the fucking helicopter to the ground?
Nope.
Absolutely not. Kawhi probably would have failed.
Kawhi might have separated his shoulder trying to do that shit.
Kevin
to Boogie.
Looney has been a good piece for this run that Golden State's been on.
100% Kevin Looney is nowhere near the talent of a 50% Boogie Cousin.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But for right now, chemistry and what they got going means way more to me than talent. That means way more to me than talent. We've seen a lot of talented teams lose.
Man.
I.e., 2011,
I can't give the ball to Kevin.
and Miami.
I can't give the ball to Kevin Looney and say, "Go get me a basket."
He averaged like over 10 points for the series.
Off of rebounds.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
No
matter how you get it,
yes,
you got
it does matter how you get it. When you comparing the two, you can't give him to say, "Go get me a bucket." You can't give him the ball and say,
when did they ever say, Boogie go give me a bucket? When did they say Boogie go give me a bucket? Where did Boogie's buckets come from? It was, let me get a second chance points. Oh, they left me wide open for a three. I'll take it. That's it.
Hey, he came Nick, back. You don't drink too many ifs, bro.
Yeah, when he came back from injury, they were giving him the rock.
Yup. Hey man, look. Boogie.
I'm not even trying to put this anger towards Boogie. My main thing was Steph. So we gotta talk about Steph. Y'all talk when we had that conversation out here that one day.
Same conversation like Dame Lillard.
All right, they're saying we need to get off Boogie. So they say
okay.
Minus Kawhi, who can they depend on to step up? This from JM in the chat. Because we've been going back and forth about Boogie.
Look, with Steph, it's the same thing like Dame Lillard. It's easy to take one guy out the picture. But what that does is weaken everybody else. And that's the whole thing that I was trying to paint. Steph may not look like Steph. Steph may not get numbers.
You're talking about Kawhi, the Raptors. They said Kawhi.
Oh, they want to talk about Kawhi. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll come back to Steph.
Evaluate the Raptors. But
Kawhi.
We know Golden State in trouble.
Kawhi, I really don't. The thing they talked about with Kevin Durant as far as his injury, I don't even know how hurt Kawhi is or what he can and can't do. Because his field goal percentage has dropped every
tendonitis in his left knee and his quad.
But to what extent? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but those are the.
And his field goal percentage, I think,
but he out there though.
It's dropped every series, or at least now it's damn near every game. And as we saw in Game 2, if Kawhi ain't hitting, and they ain't like, where is that scoring load gonna come from?
And that's the question they're asking.
Yes, I think it has to come from Siakam. I think Siakam it has to. He's the only one that has the matchup.
This is that Chris Middleton.
But I'm telling you, but y'all asked me if Kawhi ain't scoring. No. Who else gonna do it?
I get
Kyle
you.
Lowry.
That's where it needs to come from.
Yep.
That's where it needs to come from. But
I've never seen Kyle Lowry do what Siakam did in Game 1, so I'm not.
And Siakam never seen Siakam do what he did.
But I'm saying, at least I gotta see it to believe it. I ain't see a damn thing from Kyle Lowry like that.
Bro, so Siakam had an out of body experience. Come on, man. He had subpar games since what, Philly?
And when you look at the skill set, Kyle Lowry has the skill set to generate his own, to get other people involved, to make shots easier for Kawhi. He needs to step up. He just does. Siakam is a lot like Chris Middleton, where he's a finisher of plays, where he's a dependent player, meaning that a lot of what he does needs to be created for him. Now, Siakam is a little bit different because he does have more of a post game than Chris Middleton does. Chris Middleton fade away, but Siakam can get to either shoulder, stuff like that. But in terms of Kawhi, it comes down to just how healthy he is. How does he feel that game?
And you know, to answer the question, like we've seen it in the first two games, like they're blitzing Kawhi. They're every time he gets the ball, they're sending two or three
Game 2 they
kind of
sagged off a little bit, and it showcased out how he couldn't really get his shot off like that for real.
But still, they send the air, like every time he gets the ball, they send the everybody feels like the whole team to him. because they don't believe in the rest of that roster, and it showed in game 2. Gasol didn't have the same game. Kyle Lowry for
Van
2
Vliet.
games.
I was gonna say it may have to come from Van Vliet. He's the only one who's been consistent with his scoring.
But here's the thing, another one of my theories, right? Like you have championship role players, you have role players, you have all these type of guys that you categorize, right? And the Van Vliets of the world, you can only expect 1, maybe 2 games out of them. So if you get this game, like a Van Vliet game in game 3, understand he's probably not gonna have another moment.
But this game 3 is huge.
I feel you.
Every game is huge.
Yeah, every game is huge.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying for Toronto, if they can't beat this Golden State Warrior team right, like the way they are right now, it's a wrap.
But who does that speak in more volume of?
It says a lot about Golden State.
And that's the whole point I've been trying to make this entire time, that Golden State is superior when you look and try to check the boxes, even with all of the injuries. Championship basketball is won on a couple of plays. Who's better out of timeouts? Golden State. Who shoots a better field goal percentage? Golden State. I could say Toronto's a better defensive team.
And they're a better rebounding team.
I give them those 2 things. But execution down the stretch with KD, without KD, without Klay Thompson, without Boogie, it don't matter. They know what to do, where to get to, and how to do it. And that's what it's going to come down to. And Golden State just has more moxie than Toronto does.
But when all of those other pieces start to fall apart and you got to rely on these other ancillary guys on the bench, I give him credit. Anthony McKinney comes in and he does whatever he do. Who expected that from Quinn Cook? But he's been on that roster, for a while now, right?
2-3 years now.
Yeah, so he's been like these guys have been through it. Yeah. Toronto, they're still learning, and I think Kyle Lowry, I think he wants it a little bit too much, and I think he needs to slow down just a little bit.
He got to play his game,
and try to play his game. And I think he just got caught up. But they're gonna need him.
I think he's huge for them defensively. Like he leads the playoffs in charges.
They need
like,
offense.
They need that type of defensive play.
Look here. So they need Kyle Lowry's playmaking and offense, right? They need him to get buckets and to create
and
buckets.
draw fouls. And
that's what I mean.
Like
I think the draw foul thing is gonna be the biggest thing.
But he hasn't been getting them, and I don't think he's gonna get them the way he got them in against Milwaukee.
And what he needs to do, right, is Siakam needs about 3, maybe 4 more easier shots than what he's been getting. That has to come from Kyle Lowry.
Yep.
That's not going to come from Kawhi. Kawhi is your closer. Kawhi is your assassin. Even if he's hurt, he's still good for 20. But the rest of that responsibility needs to come first from Kyle Lowry, secondly from Marc Gasol. And again, just like I was saying about Boogie, it's not about the point total. Are you spacing, right? Are you setting good screens? What about these dribble handoffs? Like he needs to be effective and aggressive in those little nuances of the game, because they show up in the difference of the game. And that's where these guys, the Boogies, the Marc Gasols, that's where they need to be more dominant at. The Stephs, I want him to jack up all the shots, even if he goes 3 for 20 from the field. It don't matter. That's what I need Steph to do. It don't matter if Kawhi go 5 for 35. I need Kawhi to do that. But the Draymonds, bro, you can't have more than 3 turnovers. I need you to play a very high IQ game. I need the others to play the systems that we have in place. The outliers are the outliers. That's why they're great. They don't need what we came up with, what we constructed. Those guys, Golden State just has more of those guys. And the leader of those other guys is Draymond. Because, Draymond can't shoot, but Draymond's not one of these guys that, what do I do? Sometimes he shoots it, even reluctantly, but 9 times out of 10, he's attacking, and he's drawing defense, and he's creating plays.
Mm-hmm. Getting rebounds,
pushing it. Toronto don't got nothing like that. So when I'm looking at the others, when I'm looking at, and I want to bring it back to Steph, like, what else do you do but take the ball out of Steph's hands? What other defense is there?
And
you can't go under, because we saw what they did Portland.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't go under.
Nope.
And if you just want to show and go, Steph is going to ride that big man out still boogie on this guy and shoot a three.
Shoot a three.
So you have to get the ball out of his hands. So therefore, even without Clay, there's still spacing.
You know what I would do? Shut everybody else down. Make
How?
Steph, I don't know. Make Steph score 50.
No. But okay. So
I think
so
he
what
gotta
you're
do that
saying
regardless.
is so what you're saying is that you're not going to double team Steph.
Nah.
I wouldn't do that.
I'll take my chances.
I wouldn't do that. I'd rather
no Clay, and then that somewhat nullifies Draymond.
So how you playing pick and roll?
Cause
So what's your pick and roll?
What's your
defense?
pick and roll defense?
You going over the top? Yeah, you have to. You can't go underneath.
Well, I mean, going over the top, yeah, you got to make him cut. My thing is, to your point, you have no Clay, you have no KD. So if you get the ball out of Steph's hand, it's you hope it's in Draymond's hands. But if it's in anybody else's hands, they don't know what to do.
It's nothing. You can't guard that.
They'll find a way to create. Yeah.
To create a mismatch, to create the opportunity because. All right, so let's go through every scenario. Right, what Toronto is currently doing is blitzing Steph and getting the ball out of Steph's hands.
Yep,
As soon as you do that at 40 feet out, it puts Draymond at the top of the three-point line with mediocre shooters on the perimeter and dunkers and finishers, right? But Draymond's IQ is so high that he's going to make the right play more often than not.
But he can make the right play, but the shot has to go down.
Of course, but again, mediocre shooters, and they're playing in a rhythm as a team because Kerr has used his entire bench multiple times already in the playoffs.
These guys can make shots.
And they can make shots.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not Steph and Clay and KD. We know that.
Yeah.
But they can make shots. And the moment
against that defense?
Yes. Because already you're at a disadvantage. That's what we're
talking
talking
about. Look at the fourth quarter.
But
Look at the fourth quarter. Curry didn't score.
The defense will not be as sacked off on those guys because there's not you don't have anybody else to worry about but the two people at most on the perimeter.
Of course. Yeah. It's not going to be – the defense is going to be a little bit more in the paint, but I still trust Draymond Green as a playmaker. He's an elite playmaker.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the shooters that they have left, I don't really trust them that well.
I understand
to contested shots.
But at the end of the day, we play to get the best shot. We only take contested shots when we have to, and we still got two guys that can make tough contested shots anyway, and a third guy that'll create an open shot for everybody else.
And the evidence of that is every made basket.
Boogie. He don't make tough contested shots.
Contested shots? I mean, you talking about on the perimeter and outside?
Everywhere. Boogie game is everywhere.
Yeah. All right. Boogie shots ain't never been wide open. I mean, he gotta work his shit in the block.
He get you on
yeah.
What you mean with the jab? Man got jab work. He got a crossover.
Okay.
So right now, Toronto is blitzing the pick and roll. Let's look at the other option. So you go over the pick with a big man hedge, right? So you still trying to get the ball out of Steph Curry's hand with doing that. You still got Draymond at an advantage against the defense in that scenario. So what's the other thing? So now you don't hedge the big man. Steph is gonna kill off of that screen all day because Draymond or Boogie gonna put a body on you. He's gonna get enough space. We know he only need 3 inches to get it off.
But I think what Ken is trying to say is let Steph get if he shoots and he makes let it go.
But you still have to have a philosophy.
Yeah, and the coaching will come into play where they'll coach around that and they'll create those opportunities, which is what he's kind of walking through.
What are the what are you gonna live with?
Because that's how Steph can boogie, but Steph is not like one of those guys like a LeBron or like a Kobe.
Yeah, they're just physically imposing.
Yeah, where you just give them the ball and they could just go get a bucket or Jimmy Butler.
Steph has to
he
be
needs
worried.
space.
They have
he needs
offense.
space.
Yeah. Yep. So they work.
But Toronto's been good at closing out space, even when Clay was in there.
But it's the others though.
The others,
but them others I don't trust.
You don't trust them like the first version of the Golden State others, but they're still nice.
If we go down that route,
why don't you trust them?
Because who are we talking about?
And
Quinn Cook and
where have they
Jerebko?
Yeah, Jerebko's been in games.
And where have they shown that they can't deliver?
No, what I'm saying is because I keep talking about it. Clay and KD are out, and you're asking Cook, Jerebko, and Iggy to make shots that contested shots and put more of a scoring load on them, including DeMarcus Cousins. more than they've ever been asked for in a very important game 3. And I'm thinking, with how good that defense is in Toronto and how Nick Nurse knows what's going on and knows that Steph is really the only lethal weapon they got, Draymond can do his thing, but I don't think, again, y'all missing a lot of good all-star key pieces that Clay and KD can get 50 between the two. That's 50 less points that you're going to get. So where is that scoring load? I don't trust them to supplement that scoring load.
You know, I feel you, and when KD went out, we thought that, you know, all year long people have been saying they don't have the same depth, they don't have the same bench. And then the bench had to step up, and they have. They stepped up against Portland.
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
they stepped
defensively,
up.
those are teams that they
They're up in game 2. Like, every basket scored in the second half was assisted. Fourth quarter, Curry didn't score, Clay didn't score. You know, the others scored.
Yeah, but you talked about that. You said the reason why that game was what it was is because Toronto didn't hit nothing. If Toronto's hitting something, then that game, we're talking about a whole different, we're talking about Golden State being down 0-2 instead of being even. So you're taking another player off that game that you thought they should have won and could have won, and now you're asking like, oh yeah, this bench can still get a decent amount to get us over the hump for game 3. I don't see that happening. I really don't. And if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. But from what I'm seeing is like y'all asking they're asking a lot from this. Like I don't see how Golden State comes out of this series with how many injuries that they have.
With these injuries,
it's gonna be rough.
But
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
But you still expect them to get a dub, possibly. I don't see how they can get a dub.
I see them getting a dub because you have the most lethal shooting player to ever play the game, and you have arguably the most skillful big man in the game today, or one of the top 3 skillful big men in the game today. You have a power forward that is by far the best playmaking power forward in the league today, and he plays defense. And you have a system, and you have a belief and trust system that you can call upon. Like they're the mentally strongest team in the NBA. And I don't know how you overcome that.
To go again, this is what Ken said. I could argue that Toronto is in these playoffs because the resilience factor.
They're very resilient, but they haven't won anything.
You're right. But at the same time,
Golden State has won multiple championships. So to me,
but not in this way.
Huh?
Not in this way.
It doesn't matter. When you have the moxie, bro, you don't lose the moxie.
We'll see.
Who y'all got for game 3?
I gotta go to State.
Golden State.
Raptors.
You be flip flop. I'm like I'm gonna do like Skip. I'm gonna buy you some flip flops, man, because you be flip flopping all over this damn thing. I still got the Raptors definitely in game 3 because Kawhi got some rest under him. Nick Nurse is gonna get these boys up. And Nick Nurse is like, shit, nigga, they ain't got Clay or KD. If we don't win this shit.
Think that way, though.
Yeah, you can't.
But I'm just saying, like, this is the best opportunity for us to take over this series.
That way.
How not?
Take it
Another game.
How not?
Yep.
Another game.
Don't matter who
Doesn't
playing.
matter who
No, I'm saying game at a time. This game is like, this is the game we got to take.
That's how you lose when you go into that mindset.
Yeah, because you're adding the variables. We don't care about no variables.
You don't care about no variables. Yep.
There's 5 white jerseys.
Yep.
There's 5 black or red or purple or whatever color jerseys we got. And that's it.
We just got to go out there and execute.
That's it. It don't matter who playing.
Yep.
It don't matter who's on the injury report. It don't matter. They got 5 jerseys. We got 5 jerseys. We out here.
We'll see.
What Zeke say on First Take? You don't win championships. You take them.
You take them. Yep.
And that's what they got to do.
You got to do. Got to take it.
They got to take this, man, regardless of who hurt or who not.
Yep.
Golden State did it.
Right.
They didn't care who.
They ain't care. Right.
Yep.
We'll see. But he got to get 20, 10, and 5.
I mean, even if Clay was playing.
Why does that seem so far-fetched?
I'm not saying it's far-fetched. I'm saying that's what he got to get.
They still may lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. It's not depending on what the numbers.
Yeah.
It's not depending on the numbers.
Yeah. So, but. Yeah, that's it. I want to talk about the hockey.
Hey, Stanley Cup final. What is it?
He really gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Somebody's asking like, damn, all they talk about is football, basketball.
There's one black brother in Winnipeg. He gonna be like, yo, that is for you. With the hockey, yeah, boy.
We
Keep
can't
it up.
disrespect. Hey, the Boston fans out there who's listening, y'all Bruins is up. I don't know when the next game is, but I think the series is 2-1. Hopefully y'all can close it out, and we can talk about other stuff besides hockey. But shout out to y'all for y'all watching that, and just wanted to talk to the hockey fans out there that still like basketball and stuff too. But yeah, that's it for me. Oh no, B, you got something too. The fight.
Oh yeah, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr. Oh man, and it's crazy because he wasn't even supposed to fight him. He was supposed to fight Jared Miller, who was also undefeated. He was 23-0 with one draw, and out of the 23 wins, he had 20 knockouts. He was supposed to fight him and that Jared Miller guy. He's from New York, so Anthony Joshua. I'm coming fight you in your hometown. Da 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 da. So, but Jared Miller failed a drug test. I think it was a drug test. Or he failed some type of. He had something in his system that didn't pass. I don't know if it was PED or whatever, but he failed a drug test. So then they had to cancel that fight. So I think Andy Ruiz Jr. only had like 5 weeks to prep for this fight.
It looked like it.
Yeah, and dude went out there and Anthony Joshua was just gassed from the get go.
Why was he so? Especially with him being in obviously the best shape.
Right. Like, cause if you look at their body types, you like, okay, there's no way this dude.
And Cuz came out swinging. He came out swinging. They say he's got he's the quickest.
That's the thing about heavyweights, though. Man. That's the thing about the heavyweight division, man. Like, it literally all it takes is one punch. Like, one punch in the heavyweight division can change the whole dynamic of a fight. He dropped this man He dropped Anthony Joshua four times, dude. Man. I was a little sketchy with the way the referee stopped the fight so quick.
I was looking at his legs, and he was. Yeah, if you look at him,
but I mean, he looked at him. He said, "Are you okay? You want to fight?" He shook his head, yeah, and then the referee just did like that. So I was like, a little.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was a little.
But afterwards, I saw Andy.
A little iffy the way he stopped it, but I guess he was probably thinking for his safety because when he hit him, it was one punch, it was one right hand. He clocked him in the temp.
Yeah, right. That was it. Yeah,
like, he was his equilibrium was like just. He couldn't stand straight the rest of the fight. I know. I was like, man. But what was crazy was when Anthony Joshua knocked him down, Andy Ruiz Jr. first, he knocked him down, bam, and he got up. Bam, bam, bam. And then like when he first got up, and that's when everybody, of course, they're watching the fight, everybody was like, okay, well, it's about to go to knockout. Mm-hmm. Anthony Joshua about to knock him out. He hit him with a clean right. Anthony Joshua did. Dude just took it and he kept going. Eating. And I was like, oh snap, because like I thought once he got up from the first knockdown, I'm thinking Anthony Joshua about to finish dude out. Mm-hmm. Anthony Joshua caught him with another right, a good straight right. I mean, hit him flush in the jaw, bam. Dude still was just like.
Yeah. Then he realized he was fighting a Mexican.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh snap. So then he fought him back, knocked him down. I'm like, oh man, Anthony Joshua got knocked down, and then you could tell from that first knockdown, he was.
Yeah, he was gassed after
that.
Like
that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that the whole time. And
that's why
when he went back to his corner, I was like, oh man.
That's why people saying that he wasn't really he underestimated him.
Yeah, I think so. I think once he found out he was fighting him, he was like, okay, cool. We can kind of relax this training camp. You can't, man. Mm-mm. You can't, no matter who you fight, and especially at the heavyweight division.
And Wilder was probably pissed, like, damn, nigga, I could have knocked this nigga out.
Everybody was pissed.
He got the title right there.
Everybody was pissed because it was like you wanted to see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fight, and it's like now that fight loses a lot of luster. Mm-hmm. I mean, a good thing if they do end up fighting in the future. I mean, Deontay got all the leverage at this point. I mean, especially if he's about to fight Ortiz again. They about to have their rematch, and then he already saying he's planning on fighting Tyson Fury again after that fight. So
that would be the one that probably everybody now will look more to than the Joshua fight.
I don't know, man. Did you see how Filet did that video?
Yes, man. Yes, yes. I always watch Filet stuff, man. Filet stuff, he hilarious, man. Y'all always watch this joint, but yeah, it was definitely an upset. I mean. Was it the biggest upset in boxing history? No, it wasn't the biggest upset in boxing history. I mean, yeah, analytics folks gonna say yeah because of the odds and stuff. But I mean, to me, Tyson losing to Buster Douglas is still the biggest moment in boxing in sports history in general as far as upsets, man.
But this just quells some of the hype.
It does
for the other fight.
Yeah, it does because like everybody wanted to see Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight. Like, so
but it still would be a good fight, right?
I mean,
it's just the hype is
the hype. Oh yeah,
doused
hype
a
is
little bit.
the hype is done. The hype is done.
It
The hype is
depends.
done.
It just
It's done.
depends.
If Anthony Joshua comes back, rematch this dude, whoop his ass.
They've already activated the rematch.
Yeah. So if Anthony Joshua comes back, whoop his ass. Like just whoop his ass.
Yeah,
First round.
You think you gotta knock him out?
First round knockout. First round knockout. Bam. Okay. And Anthony Joshua look like he's serious, like he did when he fought Klitschko. Okay. Then it's back on. And
if he get knocked out, if he loses again though,
it depends on who he loses to and how he loses. If he loses the way he did again to old boy, oh yeah, it's a wrap. Like it's a wrap.
So, if people are suspecting that he didn't train for Anthony Joshua,
Andy Ruiz Jr. Oh, you talking about?
yeah,
Who didn't train? Anthony Joshua didn't train.
I'm sorry for Butterbean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Say what you want. Butterbean had them stones,
Hey,
though. He had them stones.
He is, and he'll whoop my ass. So let me put that out. Don't be tweeting me like you tweet Stephen A.
Right.
Don't beat his ass, not mine. I got that from Stephen A. What's his name? Let me show this brother some respect.
Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz, yeah. So if okay, so in my head, if he didn't train for that and that led to him getting beat, it stands to reason in my head that he would definitely train for an opponent he respects, right? Which would give us a better fight.
If they fight the second time, you mean? For the rematch?
Not Ruiz. If now I'm
Anthony
jumping
Joshua.
to the one that
Anthony
everybody
Joshua.
wanted to see,
Yeah,
right?
Anthony Joshua.
So just because he's losing, just because he lost to Ruiz, I understand the hype dying down,
Right.
but does that?
But your title is on the line, right?
But it
Like,
still should make for
three
a good.
belts.
That's what I'm saying.
Three
Like, why
belts.
would you
He had
take
3
that
belts on
life?
the line.
Yeah, why
Three
would
No,
you
no,
take
I
that-
get all that, but I guess
Yeah.
I'm looking at the fight that everybody wants to see.
Right.
That would still be a good
So
fight
because
regardless.
you think he's gonna get up for that? Like, okay, I'm fighting Deontay Wilder. I'm about to train my
Right,
ass off.
right,
So
yeah.
You
He's
think that's what Anthony
Yeah.
Joshua.
But
Exactly.
But he's
Yeah.
been ducking Wilder this way
sure
before
has.
this fight
He's been
happened.
ducking
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's
why
been
would
ducking
he? If he was really about that action,
Right.
we wouldn't be seeing
And
this
Anthony
Ruiz
Joshua
fight.
chin's always been questionable. And then you get Deontay Wilder crack that chin.
So this wasn't a tune-up fight?
Well, the Miller was this guy that he was supposed to fight that failed the drug test was supposed to be the tune-up fight because he was
Okay.
after he fought and beat him, he was going to either fight Tyson Fury next or Deontay Wilder next. So
And now that's pushed
now
back.
that's pushed back now because
He fight this dude just
Yep.
to get his respect back,
Get his
and
belt
then he
back,
got to
get his
go
belt
train
back.
and fight
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
between.
Tyson Fury
Yeah.
or Deontay Wilder, yeah.
And now
So,
that fight to me, I'd rather watch that fight than anything else. Now,
Deontay
I mean,
Wilder,
but
and
we
Tyson
all
Fury,
know that he should handle his business in the second fight,
he better.
right?
He has to.
It better not go like he better not like barely beat him. Go 11
Decision.
rounds. Well, not even decision. Like go 11 rounds and maybe finally knock him out because of just because of maybe one of them was fatigued and Anthony Joshua probably cracked him with a good one. If it goes something like that and he was still getting the best, not the best, but like a good chunk of Anthony Joshua throughout the fight, and Anthony Joshua just pull out the knockout in the 11th round or something, it's still gonna look kind of.
Why was he smiling after he lost?
Because it was probably set up. He probably took a dive. That was my other theory. I think he probably took a dive. I think he probably betted on, put some money on, because the odds was huge.
Oh, you said the
11
odds was that big.
11 to
The
1.
odds was that
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, the
11
odds.
to 1.
Yeah, it was huge. So he probably talked to some folks in the back like, yo, I'm put this much bread on this. I'm gonna take this. That's happened before in boxing. I'm gonna take this dive. He out there smiling because his ass was rich, and he got paid from his purse of the fight. So
Yeah. He didn't look bothered at all.
he did not. He did not. If any fighter, usually if you lose a fight like that and lose to a fighter like that, you gonna be pissed. So even Mike Tyson looked pissed when he lost to Buster Douglas, picking up his mouthpiece off the. I ain't gonna never forget that fight, picking his mouthpiece off the canvas. But yeah, he looked like he was not bothered. He was like, oh yeah, I'm good, man.
Sugar Ray Leonard said that he cried like a baby when I forget who.
When he lost to Robert Duran.
Yeah, he said
Roberto
he cried
Duran.
like a baby. And
Yeah.
he said he
Yeah.
remained steadfast, but he said when he got in the back, he cried like a baby.
Yeah, because that was his first L. That was his
like
first
old boy
L.
was crying to me.
Yeah, he was. You're right. He was unfazed. And when I saw that, I'm like, he probably took a dive. He probably took a damn dive. That's my other theory. But other than that, look, heavyweight, all it takes is one punch, man. One punch can change the complex of the whole entire fight. That's all I got.
All right, so shout out to I'm gonna mispronounce this, but it's Pacicho or Pacicho in the chat. He said, if Kawhi wins with Toronto, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? Don't answer this question. I'm only reading it to set it up. So somebody, JM said, what does Kawhi got to do with LeBron's legacy? He said, sorry, I was channeling First Take for a second.
That's funny.
Oh, man. That's
Oh,
more
that's
like
hilarious.
Undisputed, but it's still funny.
Right.
Still
That's
funny, man. And somebody, JM agreed with you, B. He said biggest upset behind Buster Douglas. So, and Brandon.
What about George Foreman beating Michael Moore? I'll throw that up there too, because George Foreman was like 20 years older than Michael Moore, and Michael Moore was a champion, and he beat him, caught him with it right, 1-2. Yeah, Buster Douglas and Tyson that's the biggest upset in sports history in my opinion. Still.
All right, y'all, man. Appreciate everybody that hit me up, shot me a DM, or tweeted me asking if we were gonna do it live. We didn't do it live last week, obviously.
Oh, yeah, we didn't, huh?
Nah, but we back, and we didn't get a chance to do the game live Sunday. I know I said
anniversary, personal reason.
Yeah. I was still up here though, but
Oh, you shouldn't have said that then.
Right. I'm thinking it was.
But
anniversary.
nobody was able to come anyway. I just can't. The clients had to be covered. And we won't be able to do game 3. Well, we weren't going to do game 3 anyway. We're going to do game 4, which is Friday. But FIFO's out of town. But if y'all still want to kick it, we can talk about that.
No, I'm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
In town, just.
That's right.
But
out of town.
yeah, but we'll just you subscribe to the channel. You guys will see it when we go live.
We'll pop it up.
It'll pop up. We're still planning on watching the games live once we get the scheduling locked down and solidified. But either way, we'll be back every Tuesday around 9 o'clock. So appreciate you guys chatting it up with us and watching. And we'll catch you guys next week. We out. Peace.
Peace.
So, you want to do it where we start like